These were the New York Mets in Atlanta, last series last year. The Mets had hopes of going to the postseason, but they were swept by the Atlanta Braves. And by the time the series was done, the New York Mets were only going home. It was a real disappointment. For Bobby Valentine and the Mets, after that series in Atlanta, the question was, would the team coming back this year be as good as the team that didn't make it last year? Well, those questions have been answered. The New York Mets are second to none. Their offense near the top. And defensively, there's no one in Major League Baseball playing better right now. But to get to the postseason in the National League, you've got to come through Atlanta. And the Mets know that. So for the first time in this season, the Mets and the Atlanta Braves go at it again. And Bobby Valentine knows it matters.
Mets baseball live on the WB11.
From Turner Field in Atlanta, Georgia, WB11 Sports presents New York Mets baseball. Tonight, the Mets take on the Atlanta Braves. Starting pitchers for tonight's game, Odalis Perez on the mound for the Braves and Rick Reed for the New York Mets. It's been a long time trying to get the Mets and Braves going at it this season, and it took a little longer tonight because these babies weren't working. The lights did go out in Georgia, but folks, unlike the song, they came back on, and we're going to play this first meeting of the season between the Mets and the Braves. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Atlanta. Gary Thorne along with Tom Seaver. Delighted to have you with us. Yes, we are going to get this one on tonight. And, Tom, for the New York Mets, obviously a vital, important game. You take a look at the standings, and you see why this matters to both of these teams with the All-Star break just around the corner.
Well, there's 17 or 18 games left to the All-Star break, and that's an important division in the season. You like to go to that All-Star game and be in first place. You look at the standings of the Mets sweep here. Yes, they only get even, but there's a huge psychological lift for them. You don't expect coming in here and say, well, you're going to sweep the Atlanta Braves. You've got to face Maddox in this series. You know, this is a ball club that is a darn good ball club. But you can make a statement. You can make a statement, and I'm telling you, Bobby Valentine, if he can win 2 out of 3, would be ecstatic. He gained 1 game.
And to win this one tonight, ironically, in the Atlanta newspapers today, they highlighted the catcher matchup and said Mets win this one hands down because the catcher would be Mike Piazza. Well, Mike Piazza is not going to play tonight.
Well, I talked to Mike on the field during batting practice, and a couple of things. He got hit with a bat, and then he fell down. And really conked his head, and his neck was very stiff. He said that Robin Ventura came in from third base and said, man, that sounded like, talking about when he fell down, not when he got hit by a bat. When he fell down, he said that really sounded like a watermelon hitting the ground. He really banged it and jarred his neck, and that's what's tough. So Bobby Valentine says, listen, take another day off. And he's smart, too, because you're not going to be able to swing well if you get this stiff neck like that. He has been on fire with the bat, obviously. They're going to miss his bat, but they've got to have him through the entire season. And that fellow right there, when he stepped in for Mike Piazza before, did one whale of a job.
So Todd Pratt will be making the start behind the plate for Game 1. Piazza's scheduled to be back in the lineup for tomorrow's game. But for tonight, he's just available off the bench. Could hit, could come in and play if necessary. We're going to come back to Atlanta. We'll continue on and take a look at an Atlanta Braves team that's been helped by a guy by the name of Jordan, and his first name isn't Michael. Kathleen Bertrand with the national anthem before what's going to be a full house here at Turner Field for this meeting. We told you that Jordan, who was acquired from St. Louis by these Atlanta Braves, has made a huge difference. He's not 100%, but he still makes a difference.
He very rarely is 100%. He is very injury prone, but he is an outstanding player, and he has a mentality. We talked about the football mentality. He used to play for the Atlanta Falcons, and he comes to play. He got hit by a pitch Tuesday, fade out on Wednesday. Last night in the ball game, drove in Ozzie Guillen with a winner as the Atlanta Braves beat Montreal 3-2. He is really a gamer. He is a guy, free agent from St. Louis, has come over here, 25 home runs for the Cardinals last year, has come over here and given this club a different kind of approach in the clubhouse. I mean, he said he's the only guy out there on both clubs that says, yes, as you were saying, Gary, this matters. These games matter. We've got to make a statement here. We want to win these games. We want to kick their butt. And that's exactly what everybody thinks.
Yep.
He's the only one that said it.
And he did say it, and he said it publicly, and he'll participate in that attempt tonight for the Atlanta Braves. And so will the Jones boys. Couple of guys who have come on, one young, one an experienced veteran, both of whom can play this game.
Well, this is a ball club that they have outstanding players. This is without Andres Galarraga either in their lineup. They really miss him. But this Jones kid in center field, everybody raves about him. Chipper Jones at third base is superb from both sides of the plate, has improved as a switch hitter and good defensively. Not in my class, not in my estimation in Robin Ventura's class, but very good. But watch this Andruw Jones play in this series. He has a gun for an arm from center field.
And both of them have some power. They can put the numbers up. And the Jones boys indeed will be playing for the Atlanta Braves in this ball game tonight. For the New York Mets, they go to someone who has had to stabilize a starting rotation that has struggled. One with the likes of Jason Isringhausen, who haven't gotten it done. Rick Reed has picked it up.
Well, Rick Reed did not have a good game his last outing in St. Louis. Home run to the opposite field by Ray Langford. And then watch Mark McGwire go out over the plate. You know, it was a pretty good location for a pitch. Relative to Mark McGwire, it was not a good pitch. He did not pitch inside enough to McGwire, and he said he is going to change speeds, go back inside, pitch inside a little bit more tonight. But he is a good, solid pitcher with great control.
He has won his last couple of ball games where he's been able to get deep into it, and that's what the Mets are hoping from Rick Reed tonight. When we come back, we'll ask some of the New York Met players about the meaning of this series. Even though there is a full moon, we're still going to play, and they do have lights. Braves and Mets coming up. New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Stop by your local Toyota dealer and test drive a Camry. Toyota every day. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. Ford Cars and Trucks, built for the way you live at your Tri-State Quality Ford store. Sprint PCS, experience the clear alternative to cellular today. And by Jeep, the most award-winning brand of 4x4s on earth. Closed captioning is provided as a public service by 1-800-MATTRESS. Leave off the last S for savings. A beautiful baseball night here in Atlanta. And just what does this series mean? We talked about Brian Jordan and the public comments that he made. He said the All-Star break is coming. It's time to make a point, to make a statement. That's what we need to do. Well, New York Mets players, do they feel the same way? Bobby Valentine's guys, we had a chance to talk to him, starting with John Franco, and said, John, does this mean more than any other series?
I don't think so. I just think that we played bad and we haven't played well against them. This year, everybody's got a good attitude. We know we got a good team. We've been playing really well. Last year we came in here a little flat at the end of the year, and they kind of took it to us. So kind of left a bad taste in our mouth last year. But like I said before, you got to forget about that. It's a new year, and new things happen in New Year's.
No, you have to think of it being special, even though here we are at the end of June, and obviously there's still a lot of baseball to be played. But let's face it, over the last several years, to win the National League and go on the World Series, you know, you have to go through Atlanta, and Atlanta's in first place. They're a great ball club, and we know what we have.
You know the thing about this, Gary, is that everybody's going to have a little bit different attitude. Your veteran players know how to handle it. Your younger players are going to say, boy, this is a big series. You see a packed house. You know you're in second place. You know you're 3 games behind the Atlanta Braves. Everybody has their own individual way of reacting to what is called in the Atlanta press down here the mini World Series. I mean, yes, it is a big series, and the Mets need it. The Atlanta Braves need it, and it's the classic example, as we have talked about, of the approach to baseball. Is it baseball or is it football? And in a game that you play 7 days a week in a non-contact sport, there is a different level of emotion venting, if you will. You have to keep things contained. You have to keep things on an even keel. And if you ran through a baseball season with the emotions that football players run with their game, you'd be an absolute wreck by the end of the season. And you just flat can't do it.
The Atlanta Braves come into this 16 games over 500. First time they've been there. The New York Mets come into this having won 14 of their last 17 games. They're 10 over 500 for the first time. And Tom, interesting numbers here comparing the Mets and the Braves. And just take a moment to look at these. And pretty quickly it jumps out at you what the big difference so far has been for the Atlanta Braves, and it's not big anymore.
Yeah, the big difference, the big number on there is the starters ERA. You talk about the earned run average for your starters. That really can make the big difference and make everything else fall into place. If you got good starting pitching, as the Atlanta Braves do, when you can run Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz out there, you're running 3 of the top pitchers in all of baseball out there, and they're going to hold you as well as anybody. Granted, the Mets starters have been terrific of late, and if they continue that way, that 5.2 earned run average is going to fall way down in the last 3 weeks or so. It's been under 4, so they have been terrific as well. You got to look at the Atlanta team too. The Mets catch a break. Brian Jordan has a hurt wrist. Javi Lopez is out of the lineup. Andres Galarraga is out of the lineup. So this is not the same team for the Atlanta Braves, nor is it the same team for the New York Mets. You've got Ricky Henderson, you have Robin Ventura, you have Mike Piazza, who knows which team he's going to play for. Last year when he came in here, he didn't know if he was going to be here forever. Didn't know if he was going to be on this ball club for another 5 or 6 years. So you've got a totally different team.
And a veteran backup catcher like Todd Pratt really helps. Coming into a situation like this, even in this series, I'm not going to say it's no big deal for Todd Pratt, but it's another day at the office for Todd Pratt. I mean, he's ready for this because he's played so many baseball games at both the minor league level and up here at the major league level, and he's very familiar with Rick Reed. He has caught Reed before at both levels. So you got a guy ready to come in and replace your #1 catcher who's not somebody, just a guy off the bench.
And he loves to play his number. You can see how nervous he is there. He wants to get this thing. Come on, let's go. Let's get this going, you know. So he's chomping at the bit to get in there. He loves it when he gets to play.
And both these teams are chomping at the bit to get it on, and we're going to do that. They have fixed the light problem here. The starters in the bullpen warming up. When we come back, Mets and Braves, game 1 this year. Turner Field in Atlanta. Robin Ventura said this is the first time he's been here. In fact, for Tom, it's the first time here at Turner Field. Robin said, this is my new favorite. He really loves this ballpark. I said, what about Camden Yards? Because I knew it was a ballpark he loved to play in. He said, I like this better. I said, well, why do you like Turner Field better than Baltimore? He said, well, look at third base, between third base and the dugout. He said, look, there's hardly any room at all. He says, so I don't have to develop my blazing speed, chasing foul balls in foul territory. I can just kind of lope over and make the play. I said, Robin, you son of a gun. And it is a beautiful field, and there's not a lot of foul territory. So catchers and first and third basemen who don't like to run a lot, they don't have to here. Ball's either going to be in a hurry or in the seat somewhere, and Robin's real happy about that.
This is a good hitter's park. Just the way the old ballpark here, right across, from what I understand, the restaurant that is above the left field fence up at the top, the other ballpark was straight in that direction, and the home plate area is still there where Henry Aaron hit his home run is still there. That's the restaurant above the left field fence, way up high overlooking the ball field. And if you kept going in that direction, you'd be where the old field was. It was a terrible field from a groundskeeper standpoint. A lot of sand in it. There used to be a lot of complaints at the old field about the condition of the infield, but this is a gorgeous ballpark.
Just loaded. You see the pavilion area there, Turner Beach. Fans can come in and have an adult beverage if they so choose and stand and watch the game on 2 levels. And back behind there, they have televisions that are on, monitors that have every game being played on. So if you want to go back and take a look and see what's going on elsewhere, you can. That is way out down the left field line. See where the foul pole is? And by that Coca-Cola bottle at the top, in that upper level, the very top, right up there, if you hit a ball in that area, whoever retrieves that baseball gets, keep adding it, don't stop now, $1 million for a ball hit fair between the foul pole and that stands in that little area. No one's ever done that. Mark McGwire put one up there in batting practice. That doesn't count. It's got to be during a regular game.
You want me to have that made directly to you, or is it make it go to the press? I'll come out and throw your batting practice tomorrow. Hit that baby up.
Yeah. Okay.
$1 million.
Yeah, if I hit one,
Well, you take
I should
3
get
hits.
$1 million.
3 hits. You give
There's
3
the
hits.
torch, Tom, from the Olympics, of course, that were held here in the now famous picture of Muhammad Ali on his way up those stairs. What a moment that was for the Olympics here in '96. This, of course, was part of the construction work that was done, one of the structures that came out of the Olympics, this new ballpark and the area around it, and it is gorgeous.
Now, where is that relative to where we're sitting right now?
That's out front.
Back
We can't
this way?
see that from here. I don't. Yeah, it's behind us.
Yep.
So we couldn't. We'd draw a picture of it, but we can't because we can't see it. And I wouldn't ask you to do it freehand.
You probably buy it for $1 million tomorrow.
Well, probably if you got up there and caught that ball. Atlanta Braves have taken the field, so let's take a look at our Sprint PCS starting lineup for the New York Mets. Ricky Henderson leads it off in left. Edgardo Alfonzo at second. John Olerud at first. Robin Ventura will bat cleanup with Piazza out of the lineup. Benny Agbayani back in right field. Pratt's doing the catching. Roger Cedeno will be out there in center. Ray Ordonez at short, and Rick Reed doing the pitching.
Dallas Perez on the mound for the Braves here this evening in the game 1 of this 3-game series. Perez 4-4, a 5.3 earned run average. 6 feet, 150 pounds. He is in the books. A young pitcher that had just over 330 innings pitched in the minor leagues, and he is in the big leagues. He is still learning how to pitch. Take a look at the Tri-State 4 defense for the Atlanta Braves. Brian Klesko in left field, Andrew Jones in center, Brian Jordan in right, Chipper Jones at third, Ozzie Guillen at shortstop, Brett Boone at second, Simon at first, Eddie Perez catching, and Dallas Perez on the mound.
And we are ready to go as the New York Mets and Atlanta Braves meet for the first time this year. A 3-game series, and we will have all of them right here on the WB11. Ricky Henderson leads it off against the left-hander, and Perez misses outside low, ball 1. So we start at 8:25. So we had a light failure delay of 45 minutes before we were able to get this one kicked off. For Ricky Henderson, 262 off left-handers, 279 off right-handers so far this year. Perez misses 2-0. Tom, that's what all of the Atlanta people talked about with this young pitcher, Dallas Perez, that he just turned 21. He is learning how to pitch at the major league level. He's got great stuff, but he doesn't know how to pitch.
He has great stuff and really doesn't know how to use it. I was talking to Don Sutton, Hall of Fame pitcher here. There's a broadcaster for the Atlanta Braves that he will throw his changeup sometimes first pitch when he's got a 7-run lead. Picks at the corners. You can see here he fell right behind Ricky. Ricky not going to do a thing until that pitcher throws a strike, and he finally did. 3-0.
He's got an outstanding curveball, slurve ball, slider pitch, and a really sharp fastball. 37 walks, though, in 69 innings. And he gets the strike. Henderson to drop the bat, and Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, won't like that.
I can see if Ricky says anything when he goes around behind Jerry Lane. It looked like he did not. A 3-1 pitch. Well, there's a new strike zone this year. Not strike in my book. Ricky does not like the high pitch. Does not like it up in. And when he crouches over, he has a very small strike zone. Now, the strike zone is supposed to be as you're standing.
Let me guarantee you the strike zone right now is bigger than the last pitch.
Yeah, you
guarantee it.
If it's close, you better be swinging.
3-2 count, and Henderson took a long time walking back, picking up his bat, and getting in.
When he dropped that bat, that strike zone just gained by about 25%.
Jerry Lane still got his hands on his hips, staring at Ricky Henderson. Home plate umpire. 3-ball, 2-strike count. And that one to second. Nice play made by Boone. And he quietly heads back.
There's Brett Boone, son of former big league catcher Bob Boone. Has really helped this ball club by showing up second base A good defensive player, Golden Glove winner at second base when he was with the Cincinnati Reds.
And the pitch is outside to Edgardo Alfonzo. So Perez comes back after falling behind on Henderson to get the out. And that one's going to be fouled off down the line. One ball, one strike count. Alfonso on the 1-1. Turned that one over and missed outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Here's the umpiring crew has been changed here, and I apologize. It's Mike Winters who's got the plate tonight. Bob Davidson at first, Jerry Lane, and Paul Runge. Not what we were given initially. That one hit in the air in the ballpark, right center field, drifting under. Andrew Jones makes the play. Alfonso's retired, and there are 2 down. That's become known as Death Valley here at Turner Field. That right center field area, it's 390 out to the bullpen out there, and right where that ball went, right in that area you're looking at, the ball has not carried well since this ballpark opened, and balls just seem to die out there. It's a long way at 390 anyway for today's ballparks, even in a power alley. In that area, balls just seem to hang up. John Olerud up. 1-0 count on Olerud. Perez with a chance to retire the Mets 1-2-3. Olerud off the hip of Perez, played by Simon. No play at first. Base hit. John Olerud will get an infield hit. And now the question is about Odalis Perez, or whether or not he's all right.
Perez really spins around on that right leg. Watch how his follow-up leg comes all the way around and spins, and he's not in good fielding position. That ball was not hit that hard. And a pitcher that has the follow-through that Perez has there, one day a chance of taking a good line drive, getting hurt. He does not end up in good fielding position at all.
Robin Ventura going after the first pitch, fouls it off. Ventura in the cleanup hole for this game with Piazza out, and is he hot? He's got an 8-game hit streak. During the streak, he's hit .485, 15 for 33. Comes off a homestand in which he hit .636 with a home run, 3 RBIs, 7 for 11. Takes the pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Olerud on at first with the infield hit. Ventura's hit lefties well, .286. See Simon doing a little groundwork there. Randall Simon, first baseman, with Galarraga out. It's a beautiful field. As Tom said, much more to the liking of players to play on than the old ballpark. Missed up high with that 2 ball, 1 strike count on Ventura.
You know, Robin Ventura is so quiet. Just kind of the pro's pro, goes about his business, and he will sneak up on you. You look at that stat page, you say, well, who leads the Mets in RBIs? Robin Ventura, 53. You ask that question around, not the guys in the ball club, they know, but other people around the ballpark. Who do you think? Well, they'd say Piazza, Olerud. Robin Ventura leads the Mets in RBIs.
And he's only 3 behind Piazza in home runs. Robin's had 13 home runs. Piazza leads the club with 16. John Olerud not going anywhere at first. Simon holding the bag. Notice he's a step off. You usually see first baseman play it that way, but Simon's not on the bag, not touching it. Check swing, foul ball. Generally, first baseman, you tug the bag because if you get a throw over, you want to be able to slap the glove right down in one motion. Catch the ball, slap it down on a diving base runner coming back in. When you're off the bag, as Simon was there, he's required to make another movement. See, he's got to take a step back to the bag on a throw over to put a tag on.
And the ball will always go faster than your hand's able to go.
Great changeup. Strikeout. Ventura is retired swinging. Odalis Perez, who fell behind on Henderson, the first batter, comes back and retires the Mets with just 1 hit and the base runner left on. We'll see the Atlanta Braves coming up when we come back. Braves coming up. Let's check the Sprint PCS starting lineup for Bobby Cox's Atlanta Braves. Ozzie Guillen leading it off at short. Brett Boone at second. Chipper Jones at third. Brian Jordan in right. Ryan Klesko in left. Andruw Jones in center field. Randall Simon at first base. Eddie Perez doing the catching. And Odalis Perez on the mound.
Rick Reed for the New York Mets tonight, making his 13th start. 5-3, 5.2 earned run average. Pitcher with all the pitches in immaculate control. When he has that control, he can be very, very tough. Great competitor.
And his first delivery is a strike on the outside corner to Ozzie Guillen, starting at short. We were talking about injuries for this team. Walt Weiss is another one of the regulars who is out. He's got a quadricep problem on the DL. Lopez, the starting catcher, out. Galarraga, of course, is out, been out all year. Loop to third base. Foul territory. Robin Ventura puts it away, and Guillen is out of there.
Take a look at the Tri-State Ford defense for the Mets. Henderson, Cedeno, and Agbayani in the outfield. Robin Ventura, Ordonez, Alfonso, and Olerud around the infield. Todd Pratt does the catching, and Rick Reed on the mound. Now fitting, Ozzie coming up and hitting the pop fly to Robin Ventura when the two of them played side by side for so many years in Chicago.
Both with the White Sox. Rick Reed up high with a breaking ball. Brett Boone. Gold Glover at second base. The average, though, has suffered. He got off to a great start. 7 for his last 55. And he's got a base hit. Make it 8 for 56. So Boone is on with a 1-out single, and believe it or not, despite the struggles at the plate, he's got a 5-game hit streak.
Well, the genes run in that family. His grandfather played for the Detroit Tigers. His dad played for the Phillies and the Angels. Little slider, not bad location as far as width on the plate, but too high, up about waist high. He got it on the outside corner, and he just thread the needle between Ordonez and Ventura.
Younger brother Aaron starts at third for the Reds right now. Here's Chipper Jones up, and a strike on the inside corner. Chipper Jones and then Brian Jordan. Chipper Jones 5 for 16 with a home run lifetime off Rick Reed. That's right-hander. Dangerous hitter. He'll play it all over the ballpark. Has power. 0-1 delivery to him. Missed outside. They play Jones to pull both in the outfield and in the infield. Look at the signs. Yost down at third. Could be a hit and run situation. Jones can handle the bat. Not a big lead at first. And that one a slow roll at a second base. Alfonso skipped a little on him. So he'll make the play at first and take the out. Down to second base goes Boone, 2 down.
That's a good heads-up play by Edgardo Alfonso at second base. If he comes up cleanly, he'll go ahead and try to get the lead runner Boone, but he juggled the ball just as he was trying to turn back to the right. It seemed like he was juggling the ball in his glove, didn't get it cleanly. And boy, and that's a great adjustment to say, all right, I'm going to take the 1 out. And I see you just not quite cleanly enough. Adjust. You got to make sure you get 1 out.
And they had a pickoff play at second. Ball gets away, but not far enough to go with it. That went off the glove of Ray Ordonez, sneaking in behind Brett Boone, and backed up by Edgardo Alfonso.
And Rick Reed a little bit disappointed because he knew that if he had made a good throw, they had him dead as a duck. Yeah, at second base. The minute you see that shortstop on the left side of the runner, you got him. And that's when he will throw his glove out. That's when the shortstop will throw the glove, and that's the indication of the pitcher to turn and fire right at the bag. The pitcher's obligation is to turn and not throw to the infield, throw right to the bag.
Now Brian Jordan up, and the breaking ball's outside for a ball. The man we were talking about who's made a huge difference with the injuries to this team, Galarraga in particular. They needed power and RBIs. They got them, along with an outstanding average for the former St. Louis Cardinal. 1-0 count, 2 down, and he has been a Met slayer over the years. And that one ripped. Robin Ventura's got it, and that'll do it. No runs, a base hit, runner left on at second. We've completed 1 here in Atlanta. No score, and again the D of the New York Mets comes through for their starting pitcher. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by the New York Mets solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Mets and WPIX is prohibited. Great to have you with us, everybody. Gary Thorne, Tom Seaver, and our crew in Atlanta. A 45-minute delay because of a light problem. Those lights. They had to get a new part for a generator. Did so, and really amazingly, the delay was only 45 minutes. They thought it was going to be longer. So that's why this ball game's just going to the second inning. Agbayani up.
They first talked about the lack of lights. They were talking about no game at all.
People were worried they weren't going to get the part. He drives that to left field at his way back, looking up. Benny Agbayani, goodbye, home run. Agbayani gets his 11th home run in just his 94th at bat, his 19th RBI, and the Mets have a 1-0 lead.
Benny Agbayani got one up in the strike zone, off-speed pitch that Perez left up and out over the plate. I think Benny Agbayani probably saw it halfway to home plate. He just recocked the bat, and his 11th home run, the 8th home run that Perez has given up.
Wow. Agbayani had gone just 1 for 18. It really cooled off. Not here.
Look at the location of this pitch. Well, that hits the crosshairs right there. Stayed up, was not down. Ball moved from outside right to the middle of the plate. Those go a long way. Watch out. Benny Agbayani keeps his hands back, doesn't bring him forward until he swings the bat. That is one of the keys. The hands stay back. And that way you can hit the off-speed pitch. If you commit the hands, you're dead.
And the pitch strike on the inside corner to Todd Pratt. And he's behind on the count 1-2. Talking with Mike Winters about the call. As Tom said, Perez, one of the problems has been the long ball. Last 2 games he has really struggled, giving up a lot of runs, and he put that one in, and Agbayani delivered, and the Mets have the early 1-0 lead. 5th home run Agbayani has had here in the month of June, and 11th overall. 2-2 to Pratt, missed outside, full count, 3-2.
As many young pitchers will do, another 3-2 count. Now Odalis Perez had just 332 innings in the minor leagues. The most in 1 year was 132 at the AA level.
Got him.
And he got him on ball 4 too. That's an anxious Todd Pratt going after a pitch way out of the strike zone. As we have seen so many times, Gary, young pitchers in the big leagues learning their trade at the big league level, going 2-0, going 3-1, going 3-2, getting behind hitters and giving them 3 or 4 chances in each at bat to hit the ball hard. Never really putting the hitters on the defensive.
Boy, it's tough. I mean, you know better than anyone, Tom, trying to learn here at this level.
Yep.
Just turned, as we said, he just turned 21 out of the Dominican Republic. Jumped all the way from A-ball to the majors at the end of last year. Cedeno takes a strike on the inside corner with the infield charger.
I talked to Pat Corrales, coach on the Braves team. I said, what about the young kid pitching? He says, well, you don't really know what you're going to get. He's got a good fastball, good changeup, good curveball, terrific changeup.
Be a tough play. Cedeno with a great speed. Boone knows it, hustles it over and gets the out.
And getting back to Perez, he says, we don't really know what we're going to get. Sometimes he wants to pitch with his fastball. There's Pat Corrales, former catcher in the major leagues, Cincinnati, Philadelphia. Sometimes he tries to pitch like Tommy John. He'll use his changeup a lot. And he's got a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball. I mean, he can really get it up to home plate. And sometimes he just won't use it. And like so many pitchers, young pitchers will get behind hitters. Now, these last 2 hitters, he started them out with both fastballs, both right on the outside corner, and both with a little giddy up on it.
He can throw. Ray Ordonez has cracked that 300 mark. 2 down here, nobody on. He fouls that one off. Ordonez 4 for his last 9 during the homestand. and continues to just pile up enormous numbers here after the slow start he had in the first 2 months really of the season. He's batting .412 in June. Swung on and missed. Perez has 3 strikeouts, but the blow in this one came to the first batter faced, Benny Agbayani. Young man who likes to hit home runs, and he did there, and he gave the Mets a 1-0 lead. Met fans, your vote counts. 2-time Gold Glove shortstop Ray Ordonez trailing Barry Larkin in just a few thousand votes in the All-Star balloting. You can vote for Ray or whomever you choose by picking up an All-Star ballot at any CompUSA store or by visiting the website at www.compusa.com and clicking on the All-Star balloting icon. Ballots are accepted through June 28th for the All-Star game in Boston. And let me just say that I think it's appropriate. Ray Ordonez does not like the fact he is being pushed and that people are being asked to vote for him. I think it's only fair to note that. Ryan Klesko up, and he fouls that one off. He says, I should just play. People vote for me if they want to. It should not be something that's being advertised and promoted to vote for anybody.
I couldn't agree more with Ray.
And I respect him for that.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. I never liked it when clubs were pushing their players to do that. No, not at all.
Ryan Klesko.
You get there because you deserve it.
Yeah.
You earn it.
Fans know.
Not because somebody sells it for you.
I agree. 0-1 delivery, and that one is popped up. That short foul territory will come into play here. Nice catch by Pratt. Todd Pratt, without not a lot of room, but at least a friendly dugout, gets Klesko one away. There's Ventura. See how he's not breathing hard? That's what he loves. Short little lope over there.
That pop fly, and actually Rick Reed should have been over there calling either Ventura or Pratt to keep them away from injury. It's really a pitcher's job on the pop-ups to be the traffic director. And he was over there about halfway between the line and the mound. He looked at Pratt and said, I'm sorry I wasn't over there, because he must have thought it was out of play as soon as it left the bat.
Another pop-up, and that'll be back and over the screen. That time Rick Reed put his arms out. He didn't know where the ball'd gone.
A lot of times what a catcher will do in the twilight, like it is here in Atlanta, where it's not totally dark, you're getting some help from the lights, you'll lose the ball when it goes up. The catcher may not find it. And a lot of times what they'll do, they'll turn around and look right at the pitcher, and at least the pitcher can give him the direction in which the ball is going, either halfway down toward third or wherever it is. There's a good looking pitch there by Rick Reed. Talked about him wanting to go back inside a little bit more. That's a good example of it, in off the plate. And the catcher will turn to that pitcher to look for help for the direction of the pop fly that he loses.
Got to hope the pitcher knows where it went, and Rick didn't see it. He lost it.
That's right. And if you don't get it from the pitcher, then you look at one of the ushers, the guy selling popcorn, saying, which way do I go?
Andruw Jones off the end of the bat. Edgardo Alfonzo will hurry it over. 2 down.
How can you make a good hitter like Andruw Jones swing so poorly at home plate? Now, remember we talked about that fastball inside and read through in off the plate, and this, the second changeup, that's a little slider off-speed pitch in perfect location, and the pitch before that was a changeup away. And all that is set up by coming in and saying, listen to the, as a pitcher, you're saying to the hitter, I will throw the fastball in off the plate inside. You're going to have to protect against that. If you don't have to protect against that, as Mark McGwire showed Rick Reed his last time out, Reed's last time out in St. Louis, you can go over across the plate and hit that ball. You don't have to protect inside. You can sit there and look away all day long.
Randall Simon with a big waggle in the bat and a big cut fouls that one off. Out of Currico, and batting in the minor leagues at a 278 average. Played 20 games last year with the Braves. First 20 he played at the major league level. And Rick Reed missed with that one. 2 ball 1 strike count. This is a guy who comes out of the farm system, playing first for Andres Galarraga. Played 6 years in the minor league level. Last 2 years he's come up for very brief cups of coffee at the major league level. one ripped into right field. It'll fall in for a base hit. Boy, that was tagged. Simon's on with the second Braves hit.
Take a look at the location, talking about right in the middle of the plate. And the reason Rick Reed got away with just a single there, the ball moved away right at the last moment. And they hit it out toward the end of the bat, but hit it very solidly right on the. You see that line drive here, that click of the bat, you know you've hit it on a good part of the bat.
Now Eddie Perez up and a breaking ball. Perez is not 100% with Javi Lopez out with a knee problem on the DL. Perez is doing the catching. Not good offensive numbers for him. He had a home plate collision and in the Expos game Tuesday with Michael Barrett ended up having to get stitches over his eye and stay in the game. Pitch comes inside to him. 1 ball 1 strike. Probably a situation where he would have come out. You see that Band-Aid covering the eye. That was from the home plate collision. If they had had a regular catcher available, probably would have used him, but they do not. They've called up Pascual Matos from the minors to be the backup catcher while Javi Lopez continues out, but puts a lot of pressure on Perez to stay in these ball games. 1-2 count, 2 down, runner at first, 1-0 Met lead. Atlanta comes off an extra inning win against the Expos. That's of course a sweep Florida. Breaking ball inside. Did he go? Check it first. No. Bob Davidson there. 2-2. Rick Reed looking over to first. Simon, not a big lead. Breaking ball got him. He was not close on any of those breaking balls. The strikeout goes to Reed. No runs, a base hit, and a 1 left on. We go to the 3rd inning with the Mets on top. 1-0.
Show up at Shea early for Fuji Genovese Photo Night on Sunday, July 4th. Arrive by 5 and the first 5,000 fans will have the opportunity to take the field at Shea. Thanks to Fuji and Genovese, taking photos of the Mets is as simple as 1, 2, 3. You must have a Mets game day ticket. Bring a Genovese store receipt. Bring your camera. The Mets meet the Atlanta Braves. For tickets, call 718-507-TIXX.
Tonight on Seinfeld, a co-worker's rude comments have George Costanza seeing red. All he wants now is the last laugh, and he's willing to do anything to get it. Seinfeld, tonight at 11, only on the WB 11. Big crowd on hand here on this Friday night. To open up this series, we'll be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It will be Octavio Dotel making the start for the New York Mets and Tommy Glavine. So we'll have a major league debut for the Mets. 7 o'clock tomorrow night right here in the WB 11. Perez ready to go. Rick Reed the opposing pitcher, and it's taken for a strike. Reed likes to hit. 4 hits this season, 4 for 19, all singles, 1 RBI. Fouls that one off, strike 2. Mets have won 4 in a row. Braves have won 2. Braves have won 7 of 9. Mets have won 14 of 17. And they, of course, are the number 1 and 2 teams in the Eastern Conference. The Mets about 3 weeks ago had about 5 or 6 teams who were ahead of them in just the wild card race by win percentage. Not anymore. In fact, if they were in the West in the National League, they would be in first place. 1-2, chopper to second, and a base hit for Reed. An Atlanta Rabbit. A leadoff single. He was telling Mookie how hard he hit that, I think.
You said if he had gotten it in the air, just get that thing up in the air.
There you see the numbers. Atlanta in the East, 3 games up. Philadelphia's still in it, but now 6 back. Montreal and Florida are wait till next year already. But Atlanta and New York, typical battle going on again in the East. Runner at first, Ricky Henderson up and a strike taken. Diamondbacks are 42 and 31. Mets are 41 and 31. The Mets win percentage virtually the same as Arizona. Arizona's in first place in the West. 0-1 count on Henderson, who lined out his first time up. Inside strike call. He will not turn around and look at Mike Winters.
He'll not turn around, but anything close is going to be called a strike to Ricky Henderson. On that 3-1 pitch, the first time up, he dropped the bat. Boy, umpires do not like that, and they have long memories. It's about the only thing that would really turn the tables is the dropping of the bat.
Got him and held on to. That's 4 strikeouts already for Perez.
Looked like another off-speed pitch. Yeah, great arm motion, great arm speed. Ricky Reed's fastball, and the ball got right to the hitting zone and just died. Ricky way out in front.
Perez has struck out 7 in a game 3 times already. Henderson not happy about being number 4 in this game. And he'll work out of the stretch with Rick Reed, but obviously Reed not going anywhere as a base stealer. Edgardo Alfonzo up. It's another problem that Perez has had, the young pitchers holding base runners. The Atlanta people telling Tom and I before the game, anyone who can run at all can steal bases pretty easily.
Well, runners are 11 for 15 off of Perez this year. And one of the words is that he gives it away. Gives away going to home plate, so you get a big jump on it, somewhere in his motion. And I've asked a couple people, but nobody would tell me what it is. But evidently the word that some clubs have, and they'll do it with advanced scouts. He'll do something in that leg kick and will give away that he is going to home plate. Well, if you do that, the runner knows you're going home and not coming to first, you're going to get a big jump.
We saw him make 1 throw over earlier, and it was not pretty. He's not going to throw here on Reed. 3-0 delivery, and he loses Edgardo Alfonzo. Notice how Alfonzo hung onto the bat. He was not going to go anywhere until he heard Mike Winters say ball 4. He's a very smart baseball player.
He sees everything that happens on the field, and he saw the strike zone begin to expand a little bit, at least for Ricky. But no, I don't want that. I want the same old strike zone the whole game here. I don't want anybody mad at me.
First and second, and only 1 away. So the Mets with a chance here to add to their 1-0 lead in the third. John Olerud singled his first time up. Olerud 258 off left-handers, 323 off right-handers so far this year. Left-handers pitch, fastball, strike. Bear in mind, lead runner Rick Reed, the pitcher, at second base. Alfonzo on at first. Olerud picking up his numbers with runners in scoring position now. He's up to 286. He had been down around the 250 mark just a couple of weeks ago. Fouls that one off, 0-2. Tom, why would you think left-handers are hitting 310 off Odalis Perez? Right-handers 257. Left-handers get better numbers than right-handers.
Great changeup. We'll get a right-hander out. And Perez has an excellent changeup. It's a good breaking ball, but he has a terrific changeup. Well, changeups are more effective to somebody from the opposite side. Right-handers to left-handers, left-handers to right-handers. Sometimes you see that as an indication, but you still see managers stack their lineups even against, let's say, a right-hander. They put all the left-handers in, even though that right-hander, his out pitch is really a changeup. But it's the old rule of thumb, right?
Go by the book, right?
Yeah, go by the book.
Wherever that book is. No one's ever found that book.
You know, at the end of my career, changeup was my strikeout pitch almost, and I'm citing this just as an example. And right-handers hit about 200, hit about 280 against me. Left-handers hit 200, and it was all because of the changeup.
Inside out swing left field. Klesko. Runner's halfway. He'll throw behind the runner. 2 down. One of the controversies that's taken place here in Atlanta, and it's not just from this year, is how the catcher sets up. You're supposed to stay inside the chalk lines. Note here, Perez has got 1 foot at least partially extended right there outside that catcher's box. 2 days ago, the umpires made the Atlanta staff change the catcher's box because it was too wide, and they made them redraw it during a game.
It's 43 inches. It's supposed to be 43 inches from one side to the other of the catcher's box. Now his heel was in the box. That's all the hitter has to do. That they say that's one of the reasons why the strike zone expanded so much. He's in the batter's box. Just a little pinky over the line there. That's no big deal.
What has made it interesting, Tom, is that teams have complained for years that Atlanta catchers, Harvey Lopez in particular, has learned how to set up at an off angle on the plate, giving guys like Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz an extra advantage. The perception that a pitch is a strike when it really isn't. Braves do not deny that. And there is no question that they had a larger catcher's box than they were supposed to have here. And they'll have it again as soon as it dies down.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. As soon as all the furor dies down. There's Greg Maddox. The thing about it is that it's where the ball crosses the plate. The umpires that are good umpires don't care where you catch it. They make their calls when they see the ball cross the plate.
Television in the last few years has gotten deeply into this story, and I think the umpires have been deeply bothered by it. They don't like the fact that it's been said they've given the Braves an advantage because of how the catcher sets up. So they're kind of forcing the issue this year. I asked Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach of Atlanta, about it tonight. He said it's happened a half dozen times already where the home plate umpire or the crew chief has said to the catcher, get back inside the box. It was the first time the other night where they said measure it and change it.
Measure and change it. Make sure it's 43 inches.
Yep. And it wasn't. It was wider. 2-2 count on Robin Ventura with 2 on, and he fouls it back.
I mean, his foot is over the edge of the box. And he's going outside in Ventura, and he moves to the left and sets up outside, and he's going to the left side of the box. His foot is going over that line. Well, when the hitter comes up, they scratch that back line. Their entire foot is not in the box. The hitter's is not. You see Robin's heel is, out of the batter's box. Now watch Perez. Well, he's right on the line. That's in the box. That's good enough. But if you increase that thing by about 3 inches, you're going to be out of the box.
5 strikeouts for Odalis Perez, including 2 in this inning. Mets leave 2 on. They have the 1-0 lead. New York Mets on the road, 20 wins and 15 losses against an Atlanta Brave team that's 23 and 15 at home. These two teams have such similar numbers up and down the different columns. That's why these series so exciting, and those two managers don't really like one another very much, and neither of them denies it. They don't make a big deal out of it, but neither do they do anything to say, wait a minute, we're really good buddies.
They're not. They're not likely to go out and have a beer after the game.
No, they're not.
No, I don't think so. Are they not? They're going to meet for coffee in the morning and breakfast?
No, not going to happen.
No.
They like beating one another. That's another reason these series are so exciting. Perez will lead it off. He'll be followed by Guillen and Boone. Against Rick Reed, no walks, 1 strikeout. Don Baylor's the new hitting instructor here in Atlanta. Perez talked with him during batting practice, and he's got a supper at the finest Chinese restaurant in Montreal if he can get 4 total bases offensively in tonight's game.
If Perez does?
If Perez does, yeah. Don Baylor's taking him out in Montreal.
He's got no chance.
Well, that's why Don bet him.
I mean, does Perez have to buy if he doesn't? Is it a two-way street?
Absolutely not. A chopper foul. Because Perez was around the batting cage talking about what a good hitter he was.
Well, that's part of the unit.
So
everybody does that.
No, so Don Baylor said, okay.
You get 4 total bases?
4 total bases.
Never
Zero so far.
Well, Mr. Perez is 2 for 34 right now. Let's put it that way. That's on the season, not the evening.
Check out the Toyota Out of Town scoreboard. And there are finals, and there'll be lots more of them before we are done here tonight with the late start we had here. Pittsburgh shutting out Milwaukee in their game early on. Later starts tonight. And a strike taken by Ozzie Guillen. Leadoff batter popped out his first time up. Boston leading Chicago at home. The Detroit Tigers, they've had more home runs in June than any other American League team. The Tigers. That's leading Baltimore. That one blooped to second base. And that'll retire him. Kansas City leading Cleveland early on. Cleveland with a lot of injuries. And the later starts tonight. Two down quickly, nobody on here in Atlanta. Boone singled his first time up, 5-game hit streak for him. Great to see Larry Dierker was back in the Astrodome. Unbelievable. He's not coaching yet, managing again, but he went back to see the players. He'll go in the dugout after the All-Star game. And Ron Santo, the broadcaster for Chicago, is back in Chicago. He'll undergo more tests after having what was described as a mild heart attack. Great to see both of them are doing well. 0-2 the count, 2 down. Reed looking for the 1-2-3 inning. 1-2.
Now there's a good shot at Todd Pratt. Now is he in the batter's box on that? Watch when he goes outside. If Reed elects to go outside, he's going back inside. He's got that leg real low. There's the fastball inside we talked about. And Reed is showing everybody that he's going to throw inside. Now here's the previous pitch. Now, okay, look at this. Now, let's get the rule book out on that baby. Where do we stand? I mean, you want the target down low. That's what he is trying to do. He's trying to get the glove down as low as he possibly can.
That's pretty low.
That's pretty low.
Here's the 3-2 delivery back inside and missed. So Boone gets the walk, first given up by Reed, who gives up very few free passes.
The bad part about Pratt going outside with that leg, if you're a hitter, you can see that. It's one of the things I cannot understand in baseball today. And I've talked to many hitting coaches around the National League, and they say the hitters don't want to know. If you see this leg out, you see somebody move this far outside, you don't think that you're going to be able to see all that? You know the pitcher's going outside. You can look outside. You don't have to defend inside. And look at Brett Boone. He's still going just away. Habit has it go. Hitters don't want it. They don't care anymore. They don't want to know what side of the plate. Evidently, they don't want to know what side of the plate the pitcher is pitching on. And I find that hard to believe. I am really baffled by that.
You get very few guys who take signs from second base anymore. If someone has stolen the catcher signs, you're right. Most hitters say don't give it to him. That one looped into left field. Base hit, Chipper Jones. Second base stopping will be Boone's. Second base stopping will be Boone. Played back in by Ricky Henderson. So the Atlanta Braves trying to mount a 2-out rally. Chipper Jones gets the 2-out single. 2 on, 2 down.
Take a look at it. A breaking ball that Reed got away with. And actually Jones jammed himself going the other way. He double clutched and then went the other way. A little jam job to left field.
Now Reed will work to Jordan with 2 on. Dangerous situation for Reed here. Jordan lined out his first time up. A right wrist problem. kept him out of one game this week. Wednesday, came back, got the game-winning RBI yesterday. Wrist still bothering him. Strike one.
He has a very unusual stance when he sets up in the batter's box. It's way back on that back leg.
Right to right, baby.
Now look at that. Does that look comfortable to you? What do you
Not
think?
even to stand.
Do you
that
think
way.
Don Baylor taught him that? Oof. But look where he ends up. Now that's a great shot of what happened from a guy that looks so awkward. But watch how his body sets up on his first move. His hands go back and his leg, he gets the balance on his legs, both legs. And as he's going toward the pitcher, that was a beautiful shot from center field. His hands will stay back and all of a sudden everything will look in balance right there.
Strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Cocking the trigger, right? Guys
Cocking the
do it in
trigger
a
and
million
keeping
different
everything
ways.
closed. Now watch, everything is going to boom right there. See that? It's not where you start, how you look when you start, but getting to that one split second before you begin to swing the bat. That's the important issue. That's what Don Baylor was talking about before the game. He gets to where he wants to be. He may look awkward in the starting blocks, but he gets right where he wants to be. Hands back, shoulder closed, hips closed.
Rick Reed, Tom, is really, there's Don Baylor, new hitting instructor here, former manager with Colorado. A great hitter himself. Reed's really doing what the Mets want him to do here in this game. He's really coming inside.
Go back inside. That's how he's going to be effective. If you want to get somebody out away, and Rick Reed likes to get people out away, then you have to pitch inside. Or else out away is not going to be away very long. As we said it before, if you don't have to protect in there, you could just go across the plate.
See, set it up. Inside, outside. Great pitch down low. Gets the strikeout. 3 for Reed. Jordan retired. No runs a hit. 2 are left on by the Braves. Braves have now stranded 4 in 3 innings. Benny Agbayani's had the big blow in the ball game. Rick Reed's taking care of the rest of it. Mets up. Some fine al fresco dining here in Atlanta. Nice view, big field, even something going on there. A game. Welcome back to Atlanta, everybody. Let's take a look at our new Dodge trivia question for tonight on this Friday here in Turner Field. World champs. Name the 2 non-Brave Cy Young winners in the 90s. The non-Brave Cy Young winners in the 90s. Agbayani, who's had the home run, takes the pitch inside for a ball. Benny Agbayani delivered number 11 in the second inning, leading it off against Perez. Perez has given up 8 home runs now, 5 of those to right-handers.
Strong enough.
He can drive it, can't he? And he wanted another one right there. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Obviously, he had to tail off from the absolute tear that he was on through his first 60 at bats. That's happened a bit. Grounded towards third. Chipper Jones. 1 down here in the 4th inning.
The thing about Agbayani, you're going to learn, clubs will, what he can hit, what he cannot hit. You know, the scouts do the advanced scouting. Much more homework done at the major league level than there is at the AAA level. And always these advanced scouts. John Stearns does the advanced scouting for the New York Mets. He was here watching the Braves. He'll give Bobby Valentine all the information that he can gather on them. And then he'll go on and watch the next club that the Mets are playing. He may be a couple of teams ahead of the Mets.
Todd Pratt popped it up. Bermuda triangle, and it falls in. Base hit. Boone Jordan and Andruw Jones getting up off the grass. None could get it. And Pratt is on with a dying Quail to right.
Boy, perfect words of what you said, Gary. The Bermuda Triangle was perfect right there. That's really the center fielder's ball. He is the captain if he can get there. And that was kind of a situation. I got it, you take it. Huh? I got it. No, I don't got it. You take it.
Pratt on it first, one down, and Cedeno up. And then came the mad scramble to try and find the baseball, which had gone underneath Andrew Jones, and Boone and Jordan jumping around trying to figure out where it was. Todd Pratt's on with the base hit. Mets have 4 hits now for Dallas Perez. Perez already has done better than his last 2 starts. He struggled at Houston and at Arizona. And there's that move to first base, which just barely makes it. Whoa. That is a balk waiting to happen right there.
And why would you throw to first with Todd Pratt over there?
Practice. Not a good time to be practicing. Pratt's trying to build a fairly decent lead. He's not going anywhere, but he wants Perez to throw over there. After he saw that, he may think about stealing.
Well, we were talking about Don Sutton. The 3 of us were talking about in a game in Arizona. And they made an appeal play to first base. Dallas Perez got back on the mound, went into his windup, and then threw over to first base. There was nobody over there on the appeal play. On an appeal play to first base, you have to step off the rubber first and then throw to first. There's Don Sutton, Hall of Fame right-hander. Great Dodger career. Well, you've got to step off the bag and throw over there, and he didn't do that. So it's an automatic balk. You cannot throw to an unoccupied base.
He didn't know the rules.
Didn't know the rules. 21 years old. 330 innings in the minor leagues. Nobody's taught him. Somebody's got to take him under their wing and say, this is the way you play. You were talking about before about every day somebody's got to be with him, talking to him about pitching, talking about how you conduct yourself, talking about a move to first place. Why do you throw over against a catcher that is never going to run? Is never going to try and steal.
2 ball 1 strike count. 21-year-old left-hander delivers. He does run. The throw down is high, and he's safe. Do you believe it? Todd Pratt has stolen his first base of the year. That's how bad it is.
On the hit and run. A ball way up in the strike zone. And Pratt really not pretty at second base, but caught everybody by surprise, including me. Does not run well. You just would not expect him to run. Of course, the Mets and Bobby Valentine know that Perez does not have a good move to first base.
That is his first major league stolen base. Numero 1. Now a runner at second base for Cedeno, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Todd Pratt, at the minor league level, picked up 9 stolen bases in about 11 years. He now has a major league stolen base. He'll go back and talk to John Olerud and Robin Ventura. Got him. Good scoop made by Eddie Perez, the catcher. That's 6 strikeouts now for Dallas Perez, and there are 2 down.
Now, whether it was a hit and run or not, we will never know until after the game. Ouch. I mean, that was almost broken ankle time. That is really lucky.
Wow.
That comes from lack of experience. That was almost broken ankle time, folks.
He slid on the bag.
It jammed into the bag.
Pratt in scoring position now with 2 down. Mets leading 1-0, and Ray Ordonez fouls it off outside of first. The Mets on the year now have 75 stolen bases. They are 3rd in the National League in stolen bases. A statistic the Mets have rarely in their entire history been very far up in stolen bases.
How good is Roger Cedeno?
Leads the league. Chopped foul, 0-2 count on Ordonez. And obviously what you're seeing out of Perez tonight, Dallas Perez, what the Mets need to do is get people on, get somebody at first base. It changes the whole complexion of him pitching. He just struggles with runners on base. But the Mets have not been able to do that against him here tonight. The ones they've had on, Rick Reed had a base hit, not a base stealer. Todd Pratt, even though he stole one, isn't. John Olerud, another. 0-2 delivery. He's got some nasty stuff. He has already equaled his career high in strikeouts, 7. He's done it 4 times now, this being the 4th. You're looking at the base that Todd Pratt stole. He will be taking that home. New York Mets baseball is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. Great to have you with us. Gary Thorne, Tom Seaver, Braves and Mets meeting for the first time this year. First of 3 games. All 3 of them right here in the WB11. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for game 2. Octavio Dotel makes the start for the Mets, his major league debut against Tommy Glavine, who is 5-7. Tomorrow night right here in the WB11 at 7 o'clock. There he is. Major league mark, first stolen base. But he was stranded.
Cut that one out of the paper. Put that one in your scrapbook.
May not get another chance.
That's all right. Could be the last one you ever get.
Rick Reed shutting down the Braves. He has walked 1 and struck out 3. Reed has won his last 2 starts against St. Louis, Cincinnati. There you see the league leader in left field, Roger Cedeno, in stolen bases, and the catcher who got his first. They will chat after the game. The art and intricacies of base stealing at the major league level. And Todd will do most of the talking. Ryan Klesko takes a strike on the inside corner.
How not to break your ankle.
Yes.
That should be subject 1. Start sliding before you are 3 feet from the base. Anticipate sliding at least 10 feet from base.
1 ball, 1 strike count on Klesko. He's got power. 2 for 11. Lifetime off Reed coming into the game. One of those 2 hits a home run. 1-1 delivery to him. Staying inside on him. Gets the strike 1 and 2.
We talked about it before, Gary. This is not the same Braves team that you would normally see. Galarraga is not in the lineup. That's a guy with 44 home runs and 120 some odd RBIs last year. We're talking about Javi Lopez at 34 home runs. He's out of the lineup. And Brian Jordan, 25 home runs last year for St. Louis, and he is semi-injured playing, but he does have a sore wrist. This is not the ball club that you would expect to see, or certainly that Bobby Cox would like to have on the field. They are missing a lot of offensive power, but they have done it with great starting pitching. And you add the number of runs that they can put on the board. They averaged just over 5 runs per game last year. Put that in perspective, the Mets were just about 4.3, so over half a run more for the Braves than the Mets last year. But the Mets, they themselves, are a different team than they were last year.
Here's our Toyota line score. 1-4-0 for the Mets. The Agbayani home run. 0-3-0 for Atlanta. Rick Reed now with 4 strikeouts himself. Klesko retired. You saw Klesko ask, was that outside? That's what Tom's been talking about here. Reed is setting up those outside pitches tonight by pitching inside. And the Atlanta hitters are talking to themselves and to the home plate umpire in the case of Klesko about where that pitch was. He's got him off balance. Andrew Jones, slider, ball 1.
Reed was walking around before the game. I said, how you feel, kid? He said 27 ground balls and let's get out of here. That's the way he thinks too. Keep the ball on the ground. He knows the kind of infield defense that he has behind him. He knows he's a sinker ball pitcher, not a strikeout pitcher.
And he doesn't walk people, Tom.
Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
He's been right up there with Maddox over the past couple of seasons in the fewest walks per 9 innings. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Andrew Jones. He grounded out his first time up. He'll have a base hit down the line. Henderson over to get it. Plays in front of it. Jones is going to go for 2. Here's the throw by Henderson. Off the mark, in with a double. Two back at number, I was going to say 13, but it isn't. It's 12 for him.
One of the outstanding young stars in the game of baseball, Andrew Jones. Can run, he can hit, He can hit with power. He has a tremendous throwing arm, very aggressive, good hustle out of the box. And that's one thing that Bobby Cox has worked on this young man about his professional approach to his job. And you saw it right there. He was busting it out of the box.
Simon up the middle. Ray Ordonez has played over that way. 2 down. He's only 21 years old. Seems like he's been around for 5 years.
Just a puppy. Just learning. We've talked about Odalis Perez just learning how to pitch. He's still learning how to play. He's still learning what it's like, what it's supposed to be a professional athlete. How you go about your business. Well, all they had to do, there's Bobby Cox, the manager. All they do is go up and look at number 44 upstairs. How you go about your business.
To be an intentional pass with the pitcher up next. Eddie Perez will be walked, putting runners on at first and third. This will be the first intentional pass Eddie Perez has had this year. Overall, the Braves pitchers are pretty good hitters in that starting rotation. Tonight, however,
there's the balance, right?
There's a balance.
Yes, the other side of the scales, as it were. Maddox is hitting over 300, but he is not pitching tonight. You wouldn't do this with Greg Maddux with their number 9 spot. I'm not sure if you'd do it any other time if the New York Mets were not playing the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta.
Yep.
Walking a 220 hitter, and you got a pitcher that's pitching well.
Perez grounds at the first. John Olerud scoops it up, goes back to the bag himself, and that will retire Perez. No runs, a base hit, 2 are left on. Braves are getting people on each inning. In fact, they've had at least 1 on every inning. They've stranded 6 through 4 against Reed. Well, we were talking about Mr. Maddox. Going to be mentioned during our Dodge trivia question. In fact, we gave you the question. We'll do it again and give you the answer. The 2 non-Brave Cy Young winners in the 90s. Who were they? Well, the answer happens to include Mr. Maddox. Sort of.
What about the guys in the American League? They went over there.
Pedro Martinez with Montreal, Doug Drabek, Pittsburgh, 1990. And Maddox picked it up in 92. However, Chicago Cubs, and then won volumes of them here. So he could have been included in that, but he is a member of the Braves now. Check swing, strike called on Reed.
But somebody forgot to put up NL in that, didn't they? Did I misread that? That's why I thought the.
Oh, just National League, yeah.
Oh, we just do National
we just
League?
National
We don't do
League.
all.
Oh, yes.
Excuse me.
Oh.
The other one doesn't count? The other
Well,
league
I
doesn't
know
count.
you were over there for a while, but you know.
Well, I didn't win one over there.
Reed swung on and missed. That'll be 8 strikeouts, new career high for Perez and K's in a game, and he has struck out the last 3.
Well, we went to commercial and they said there was something tricky about this, about the quiz, because we sit here and try to get
Well,
it.
because
and I
Maddox.
said, well, I knew he played for the Cubs. He won. It was to the Cubs,
Yes.
but I didn't
So
even
that would've
talk
made it
about
3,
you know.
but we only put 2 up there because he's with the Braves now.
All right, so I wasn't a math major. Big
No,
deal.
I was just, no, you're right. It was complicated and it was a little
It
tricky.
was. Anytime you put a
For
crooked
us,
number.
anytime a game starts 45 minutes late, it's complicated. Everything is complicated. Ricky Anderson, 1 down, nobody on. Anderson lined out and struck out. There you see the 1-0 lead the Mets have on the home run by Benny Agbayani. And not much complicated there. Each team with 4 hits. Mets have stranded 4 so far, a couple in scoring position. Ricky Henderson has lined out and struck out. He was strikeout number 4, the 8 so far picked up. Henderson 1 hit in his last 10 at bats. Should I well, obviously if I ask him, I'm going to have to read this on the air. Is this worth reading on the air? It's from Skip Carey, the broadcaster with the Atlanta Braves. There's rarely anything Skip Carey gives you that you can read on the air, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to take the opportunity.
That's why you proofread it first.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
When he comes in and hands me things on paper, oh, no. Fouled off. This is true. Scientists at NASA have developed a gun built specifically to launch dead chickens at the windshields of airliners, military jets, and the space shuttle. The idea is to simulate the frequent incidents of collisions with airborne fowl and to test the strength of windshields. European engineers heard about the gun and asked to have it. European engineers tried it out. They were shocked when the chicken hurtled out of the barrel, crashed into the shatterproof windshield, smashed it to smithereens, crashed through the control console, snapped the engineer's backrest in two, and embedded itself in the back wall of the cabin. Horrified, they faxed NASA and said, "What the heck's going on here?" Look at him. NASA's response was, "Thaw the chicken." Ricky Henderson strikes out. That is strikeout number 9 for Perez. Skip Carey brought that over. Thawed the chicken. And he goes and made sure to say, "This is true now. This is true." Yeah. Unfortunately, I think he's right. Edgardo Alfonzo to second base, short hop. Boone. He's got him, and that'll do it. And there is the first 1-2-3 inning that we've had in this ball game either way. 1-0 Mets. Now, believe it or not, July is almost here, and that means it's time to mark your calendars for the Macy's fireworks. This year, our very own Mike Piazza is going to be there, plus Ray Romano, Bernadette Peters, the cast of Broadway's Footloose, and many more. It all happens live starting July 4th at 9 p.m. and only on the WB11. July 4. Mercy. Ozzie Guillen takes a strike. Guillen's 0 for 2. Guillen, Boone, and Chipper Jones top of the order for the Braves. Pitchers duel here. 1-4-0 for the Mets, 0-4-0 for the Braves.
Guillen was a great pickup for this ball club last year, released by Baltimore. And he came over here as a backup to Walt Weiss. Played in 83 games last year for Atlanta and hit .277. And only 6 errors. He is a good pros pro. He never walks.
15th major league season for Ozzie Guillen, who's got a .266 career average coming into this year.
He walked 25 times one year and almost 550 times to the plate.
Because of shots like that. Barehanded play. Alfonzo, good play. And that'll take care of Guillen.
There's a happy Rick Reed. And that's the change up away. That was to Perez earlier. And then the breaking ball. And a fastball down and away. Good location. He has excellent control. And the fastball up and away right by Klesko. That's a change of speeds. And if you pitch inside off the plate, both sides of the plate, your fastball is going to look that much faster. Reed doesn't throw that hard. I mean, he throws right in the middle to at 87 miles an hour. Tops. That's probably where he tops out on the gun.
1-0. Another one off the end of the bat. Edgardo Alfonzo. That was an 83-mile-an-hour pitch, according to the gun they're using here. Boone is retired, and they're 2 away. But he can pitch.
He can pitch. Velocity is only one part of it. And nobody knows it better on that staff than Rick Reed. Movement, location, pitching both sides of the plate. I mean, there's a guy that, you know, in the vernacular of the clubhouse, can't break a pane of glass, but he can get you out. He knows how to pitch, just like that guy in the other dugout. Maddox knows how to pitch, just the way Tom Glavine knows how to pitch, using both sides of the plate, changing speeds.
Chipper Jones on the off-speed delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, nobody on.
You were talking about base on balls before from Reed, Gary, and coming in tonight, Reed had walked 24 in this 68 innings that he has pitched. That almost equals what he walked in the last 2 years. Last year he walked 20. This is not a typographical error. 29 men he walked last year in 212 innings. And it wasn't a fluke. He walked 31 and 208 the year before that. He has spectacular control. Now, part of those walks come from that. He pulled that Achilles tendon, remember, in Montreal running, so he was on the disabled list for a while, and that hurt his control.
Chipper Jones, towering fly ball to right field. Boy, did he get under that one. Agbayani will put it away. So each pitcher retires the opposition in order here in the 5th. 21-year-old left-hander Odalis Perez goes to work against the Mets' John Olerud, who has singled off him 1 for 2. We go to the 6th inning. 1-0 lead for the Mets on the home run by Benny Agbayani that came leading off the 2nd inning. Each team with 4 hits. Pitchers duel here in game 1 of this 3-game set against the Atlanta Braves. John 4 hits in his last 13 times to the plate. Average at 307 now. And the flip to first, a blind toss. Did he get the bag? No. Randall Simon kind of threw that to a spot, hoping somebody would be there, the first baseman. It'll be a base hit for John Olerud.
One of the luxuries of a first baseman, especially if you know the runner does not have good speed, you can take your time, and certainly with John Olerud you get plenty of time. Simon should have set up, turn around, and throw right at the bag. It's the pitcher's responsibility to get to the bag as he catches the ball. So the Mets catch a break there. That's just not knowing your opposition's speed. That's a mental mistake and should have been an error. But credit a base hit, did I hear?
Yes.
Yeah, should have been an error to me.
5th hit for the Mets. It was a good throw, and they would have had John Olerud at first base. Robin Ventura, and a strike taken. Leadoff man on. Mets have had the leadoff man on twice, including the home run by Agbayani. Well, Pratt's picked up a stolen base. How about John Olerud? Robin Ventura, 1 strike count. He has struck out twice in the ball game. 9 strikeouts for Odalis Perez so far. Checking down at third base with Cookie Rojas. Long look. Mookie Wilson's talking to John Olerud. They would love to get Odalis Perez at least a throw over there. Try and get a balk off him. And that one missed inside. 2 ball 1 strike count.
The thing about this at bat, Robin Ventura has seen every one of Perez's pitches now. He struck out in the first on the change. Struck out on the fastball in the 3rd inning, the 2nd time up. He has seen the curveball. There's nothing else to look for. He knows how hard the fastball is. I think you're going to call a balk in him before the night's over.
Will you analyze that move to first base for us?
Well, that's just kind of lean over there and fall and throw it before your foot hits the ground. Yeah.
That is the most awkward move I've ever seen.
They'll work on that in spring training next year.
Wow.
Go down to that field, hide from everybody.
2-1 the count. A little better that time, a little more fluid. You've got to believe one of the problems he's got is that he's worried about a balk. Just by the way he's handling that front leg.
He should be.
Yeah, you're right. He should be.
He should be.
He has learned that. Olerud's got a pretty good lead over there. 2-1 delivery. You see, Perez has got that kick. When he brings the leg back, he has a slight hesitation before he comes to the mound on the delivery, which base stealers love. He's got a high kick. He doesn't have a slide move. So a lot of reasons why teams run against him.
Yeah, and when he brings that front leg back across the plane of the rubber, that means he's got to go to home too.
Off the catcher's mask. Wow. That thing rebounded way over into the seats. He's going like, why me?
The days when the catchers didn't wear helmets either. They just wore that soft cloth hat underneath their mask. Had no protection in the head. Well, that was a catcher, I don't think you can get enough armor on me to protect me.
We again remind you, Javi Lopez is out with a knee injury. He is already, as we said earlier, playing injured.
Oh. And the stitches were just to the right of that. The stitches on his forehead above the right eye. We're checking to see if they ripped any of those stitches open from the other night. Ow. Did you hear that? How could you miss it, huh?
He's going to stay in primarily because he has to. They don't want to go to the youngster they've called up to be the backup unless they absolutely have to.
He's checking for blood right there, see if those stitches tore. It looked like it hit right above the center of the top of the mask, and the stitches are over there to the outside of his right eye. Ouch.
3-2 count, nobody out. John Olerud at first base, trying to increase the lead to get another throw over there. And he missed inside and walked it. Second walk given up. And now the Mets, their best chance at a rally, 2 on and nobody out. Olerud down to second. Robin Ventura at first, and Benny Agbayani coming up.
Well, what do you do in this situation? You got a guy who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. You played it conservatively, defensively. How do you do it offensively? We have Olerud at second and Ventura at first. Not good speed at all on the bases. Do you bunt in this situation?
He has hit into 3 ground ball double plays. Agbayani's not a fast runner. Decent speed, not fast.
Got to swing the bat for me. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark, break the game open.
And a strike taken. Chipper Jones even with the bag at third. Double play depth the rest of the way in the infield. Agbayani again looking to Cookie Rojas for the signs here. 1-0 lead. Agbayani's home run leading off the second inning. His 11th is accounted for the only run. And the runner's fake to go, and he does bunt, and it's foul.
Boy, they got lucky there. Mets got lucky there. Chipper Jones playing right even with the bag. There's Cookie Rojas getting his signals from Bobby Valentine on the bench. You'll see if they'll do it again. Yeah, poor speed on the bases. And you watch Agbayani, he'll jab at the ball. Give him jab at it, and at bottom the bat falls out. It's the top part of the bat and pops up.
Come on, OG.
They dodged the bullet on that one.
Got to believe he has rarely bunted. He has no sacrifice bunts here. He's a guy who just rarely bunt in the minors. 2-strike count. He'll swing away down to third. Chipper Jones foul territory. It'll stay at 2 strikes. Olerud heads back to second base, and Robin Ventura back to first. Bullpen action for the Atlanta Braves. Russ Springer. Creeping into your picture there in the bullpen. We are in the 6th inning. 0-2 count. Mets with a 1-0 lead. Perez worked 4 innings his last game, 5 before that, and the 2 losses where he got hammered by Houston and Arizona. 0-2 delivered to Agbayani. He's up high and away. 1 ball, 2-strike count.
And he has thrown a lot of pitches. He's up in the probably mid-80 region right now for a number of pitches. 89 pitches now. And the bullpen has not been one of the strengths for the Atlanta Braves. I'd like to get 6, maybe 7 out of Perez if they could.
Big inning right here. 2 on and no one out. 1 ball, 2-strike count at Agbayani. And a look back to second. Andruw Jones plays about as shallow as center field against power hitters as you'll see in the National League. I mean, he's out there, but Most outfielders would be 3 or 4 steps back. He likes to play in and go back on fly balls, and he does it really well. He does not give up the singles in front of him. 1-2 delivery. Fouled off down the right field line. Benny Agbayani, what a story he has been, and now it's can he keep it going? Realistic. 337 batting average, anywhere over that 300 mark. Even half the power he showed so far would be magnificent for the Mets. 1-2 delivery. Agbayani again fights it off. Stays at 1-2.
Boy, that was a great swing right there. A high kick. He kept his weight back. He double clutched and just missed getting that ball to right field. He has good power to right field. Watch him. He'll double clutch the off-speed pitch, and he keeps his hands back. He does that extremely well. That's so important. That front leg may go, but he keeps his hands back. A la Roberto Clemente.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Agbayani working it here. Todd Pratt on deck. Mike Piazza, if you joined us late, not catching. Concussion still bothered him today. He's available. Should be back in the starting lineup for tomorrow night's game. Agbayani with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Olerud off second, Ventura at first. And he lines a base hit into center field. Andruw Jones over. Coming to the plate, Olerud. Here's the throw. In time. Tag. Got him. That's why Andruw Jones plays shallow in center.
Well, you got a combination of a slow runner at second and one of the best arms in all of baseball in center field. Even though this ball is hit on the left field side, Andruw Jones has to go around and get on the outside of it, and no chance for Olerud at home plate. Look at this throw. Look at this. You couldn't walk in there and hand it to Perez any better than that. What an arm in center field. Woo!
And with that throw, he is now #1 in outfield assists in the National League. Andruw Jones will tie him for first. Boy, that's spectacular right there.
Look at the entire play here from the outfielder. Andruw Jones picks up the ball. Very quick footwork, perfect footwork, and throws that ball over the top of the shoulder and keeps it on line. The ball didn't die away from home plate. That was a terrific throw. Textbook for kids at home. I mean, absolutely textbook.
So John Olerud tried to score on the arm of Andruw Jones and didn't make it. 1 down. Runners at first and second now. Single, of course, for Agbayani. Todd Pratt's had a base hit and is struck out. Olerud had no chance on that one, but the Mets challenging. 1 away. And Pratt fooled on that one. Strike 2. You can see why Dallas Perez is someone this organization has been high on for the last 3 years, and why he is here at the tender age of 21.
That was a nasty pitch, that last one. That was nasty.
0-2 delivery, and Pratt lines it. That's a base hit left center field. Robin Ventura will score on this one. Agbayani stops. RBI for Pratt. 2-0 lead for the Mets. Pratt filling in tonight for Mike Piazza, and he gets his 13th run batted in.
Brad, who did such a terrific job when Piazza was on the DL after that injury in Montreal. He did a great job filling in for the regular catcher for the Mets. Gets a breaking ball up, out over the plate, not much on it, and hit the mistake, and that's exactly what he does. He's a pretty good two-strike hitter because he cuts his swing down, doesn't try to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and got a good pitch to hit there.
Mets doing this station by station. Roger Cedeno fouls it off. Mets have had 3 singles and a walk in this inning. The only out, the play at the plate. League's leading base stealer, Cedeno, draws Chipper Jones in at third base. Ventura celebrating the run scored. Probably telling John Olerud, look, if I could score from second, what happened to you? And that one ripped back into the seats. A 2-strike count. It's one of the things those two guys bring to this team is great chemistry. They're good people. They have a good time. They enjoy the game. They like playing it. They kid one another and other teammates about things in a in a kind, uncutting way.
Positive way.
Yeah.
Very positive way. It's a very placid feeling to both of them. Very calming. Very placid approach to everything. Very professional approach. Both of them hard workers. I say that about so many guys on that ball club. Edgardo Alfonso. I mean, this guy knows how to play the game as well as anybody on the field.
Missed outside with it. 1 ball, 2-strike count. 1 down, 2 on.
100 pitches now for Odalis Perez. And when he was Arizona last time out, he threw 94 pitches. He didn't make it to the 5th.
1-2 delivery. Back inside. Missed it. 2 ball, 2-strike count. Leo Mazzoni, pitching coach. He starts that rocking. You know there's a concern.
He started that in the first inning.
Yes, he did. Well, after the last 2 starts Odalis Perez had.
He was
Just cause.
Rocking in front of his locker today.
Yeah. 2-2 the count. Infield looking for that ground ball to get 2, but Cedeno has not hit into a double play this year, and he won't here. That's going to be a base hit. Ryan Klesko, they're going to wave him home. Klesko looks, doesn't throw anywhere. Ryan Klesko with Benny Agbayani running, and Cookie Rojas knows he does not have a great arm out there in left. So Cookie Rojas just kept them coming, and the Mets have a 3-0 lead as Cedeno will get the RBI single.
Looked like the breaking ball, another high breaking ball to Cedeno after he'd been late on a couple of fastballs. Klesko made no effort to throw. Wasn't even going to try and throw. Agbayani has pretty good speed. Much better than John Olerud and Robin Ventura. But I mean, the throw to home was nowhere in Klesko's mind at all.
So Cedeno picks up the RBI, his 17th. It'll also knock Odalis Perez out of this ball game. He's responsible for the base runners on. Russ Springer is coming out of the bullpen. Russ Springer is out of the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves with runners on at first and second, 1 away. Ray Ordonez, who has struck out twice at the plate. Well, the Mets now with 4 singles and a walk in the inning. Odalis Perez did not get anybody out himself. It was the play at the plate that has accounted for the only out here in the 6th inning. "30-year-old right-hander Russ Springer. A lot of elbow problems, a lot of time on the DL in his career. 2-0 delivery. And he missed outside with it. 3-0 count on Ray Ordonez with Rick Reed, the pitcher, due up next. Springer working himself into a deeper hole immediately here. And he gets the strike on the inside corner. There are the base runners with Pratt at second base and Cedeno, the speedster, at first. 3-1. Bullpen has gone 13-6 with 19 saves on the year. ERA of 3.35. Bullpen's been used a lot, almost 200 innings now, giving up 183 hits, 21 home runs combined. 3-2 count. Runners are going with one down, and it is foul back.
Well, when you got a pitcher on the mound that is not known to be a strikeout pitcher, Todd Pratt takes off, both runners going. He was taken off so Roger Cedeno wouldn't run up his back. Plus you got a hot hitter at the plate. Ray Ordonez has been swinging the bat very well. See if Bobby Valentine does it again.
There they go, and a throw. It's ball 4, and Eddie Perez, the catcher, can't believe it. He was sure he had a strikeout on that one. So Springer comes on and surrenders the walk, and the Mets have loaded him up with one down.
Well, you wonder if Eddie Perez stood up and blocked home plate umpire Mike Winter's view. Oh, that pitch way out of the strike zone. Not even close. He did stay down. It wasn't a block on the umpire. Watch him stay down as he receives the ball. He's an excellent receiver. Framed that ball nicely. That would have been a double play easy. And Todd Pratt's string of consecutive stolen bases would have been broken at one.
It would have been. And Rick Reed, first ball hitting, fouls it straight back. Reed has picked up a single and is struck out. Springer's got the bases loaded and one down. So the Mets already with a couple of runs in here have a chance to have a real big inning. Timeout taken at the plate. I think by Rick Reed asked for that. He was talking with Mike Winters, the home plate umpire, checking for signs. Chipper Jones is playing even with a bag. Cookie Rojas. Talk about doing homework. Rojas did his. That's why he sent Agbayani. He knew Klesko's got a bad arm. He misses nothing down there at third base in that coach's box. 0-1 reached for and fouled off at a 2-strike count on Reed.
You can come to the ballpark and you can see Cookie Rojas sitting on that bench over there when the other team takes batting practice. He does not miss a beat. Bobby Valentine passes along the signs to him.
Oh, 2 count. Reed looking and lines it into center field for a base hit. Pratt will score. Cedeno won't test the arm. Cut off by Simon, and the Mets continue the station to station. Rick Reed, his second hit of the ball game, an RBI single, 4-0 New York.
Well, one base at a time for the New York Mets. You can still get him in that way. Pitch up and out over the plate with 2 strikes. Poor quality pitch. Look at the location of this. Look how high it is. Right about belt high. Good piece of hitting by Reed.
Second RBI, 5th hit.
Why the Mets starters take a lot of pride in their hitting. They work very hard at it too.
Take that back. That's his 6th hit. He's got 2 tonight. Bases remain loaded. Still one down. Here's Ricky Henderson. Anderson lofts a fly ball on the right field side, and no play. Anderson has struck out 3 times in the game. Odalis Perez left, giving up 6 hits and 5 1/3 with 2 walks and 9 strikeouts. And the home run to Agbayani. He's responsible for all of the runs, and he's responsible for Cedeno, the runner at third. So Ricky with a bases loaded chance against Russ Springer out of the pen. Breaking ball, 0-2. Henderson hitting just 167 with runners in scoring position. It's been a tough spot for him. Mets overall have struggled a bit in that department, hitting 254 as a team. That's one number they'll have to increase a little bit. 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball again got him. Boy, he fooled him on those two. Henderson and Mike Winters, home plate umpire, have had a going concern all night. Now they're going to talk about it. Bobby Valentine's coming out. I think he wants to make sure Henderson stays in the game. It all started in the first inning when Henderson thought he had a walk and dropped his bat and started to first base on what was called a strike. He has lined out, struck out 3 times.
Looked like a pretty good pitch too, Gary. And you're exactly right. Bobby Valentine did not want to lose a player in that situation.
2 down. Fouled off by Alfonso.
You look at the pitch again to Ricky Henderson. And from where we sit, it looked like a strike.
Pretty
strike
good
to
pitch.
me, yeah. Not outside. No, Ricky was arguing whether it was high or outside. But that's, you know, anytime you punch out 3 times in a night, not going to make you very happy. Put a damper on your personality.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. Every time.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Mets have batted around in the inning. Alfonso's the 9th man up. 0 for 2 and a walk so far for Edgardo. Ricky will just cool the Jets over there and stay in the game. 1-1. Again, the uppercut down the right field line. Simon, the first baseman, runs out of room even though he's on the target. Literally. Souvenir. Springer trying to work his way out of this. Mets have scored 3 in the inning without an extra base hit. Two walks, 5 singles. A throw out at the plate and the strikeout to Henderson have been the inning. 1-2 delivery to Edgardo Alfonso. Outside, 2-2. Springer was on the DL again this year. In fact, we mentioned the guy who's just had a lot of injuries. He had to go down to rehab. He's on the DL from May 17. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Springer comes on, gets a couple of strikeouts. Mets will leave the bases loaded, but put up 3 big runs here in the 6th inning to take a 4-0 lead. New York Mets baseball is brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. Gary Thorne, Tom Seaver, and our crew here at Turner Field in Atlanta. Full house, 48,292. It is the 8th sellout the Braves have had this season.
Take a look at the strikeout pitch to Edgardo Alfonso. Remember how Ricky reacted? Now that's borderline. Was that outside? We could see Perez was set up outside. And a curveball right on the target. And Alfonso's reaction totally different from Ricky. Simply took his gear off, walked away. I would guess, yes, Ricky with his drop on the bat in the first inning expanded the strike zone on him. Alfonso says, I know this crew is watching. I've got 2 more in this crew. This is, now you don't get a new crew tomorrow. Everybody's watching how you treat the umpires, and they know that. That guy in first is going to be the umpire tomorrow evening.
Memories.
They do not like to be shown up. Don't show me up. You can argue if you want, but don't get in my face.
Jordan hits that one to left field. Ricky Henderson. Atom ball. Jordan's 0 for 3. Rick Reed, a typical Rick Reed performance. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, no runs, 4 hits.
A lot of people would say, well, you're 4 runs down, you're in the 6th inning, you got to go up there and take a strike. Not against Rick Reed. Forget it. Forget about the base on balls. Forget about him putting some runners on for you. He is just not that kind of pitcher. There's no sense of going up trying to take a strike and get behind in the count, because that's exactly what will happen against Reed. You got to go up there, and if you see the pitch you like, you got to swing.
Ryan Klesko. He had a streak broken. A 7-game hit streak ended yesterday. 10 for his last 27. Pushing his average up to 287. Rick Reed's delivery to him, hit in the air to right field. Another Adam ball. Benny Agbayani handcuffed and made the catch. Agbayani with a shot like an arrow. 2 down.
Well, as Steve Phillips says, when you get Benny Agbayani, you get him for his bat, not his defense. That is not pretty, but it is successful. Well, Rick Reed has thrown 3 pitches this inning and given up 2 line drives and says, yeah, thank you very much. I'll take it. He turned around and looked at Todd Pratt. Did I get that up a little bit? I think so, Rick. We'll take him. Take those outs any way we can get them. That's what Reed will be saying.
Andruw Jones takes the pitch up high, batting .277 now. Jones had a double in the 4th inning and was left stranded. He is 5 for 14 with 2 home runs lifetime off Reed. Fouls that one back. 1-1.
Did you see that ball coming here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you see it?
Yeah. I didn't see it genuflect or nothing.
Well, it was way over there to the left.
It was only about 4 or 5 feet to the left, and
my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and you know what they say, ignorance is bliss.
something like Ted Williams.
Kind of like Ted, yep. 1-1 delivery. Outside corner strike to Jones. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reed retired the side in order in the 5th inning. Chance to do it again here. 6 left on base so far by the Braves. 1-2. Just missed on that one. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
He wanted that pitch. The pitch forward was a beauty, set up and framed perfectly by Pratt. He went back out there with a little nickel slider and just missed it.
2-2. Jammed him.
Well, he's giving a clinic here tonight.
Boy, he is, isn't
Yeah.
he?
He said he got a game plan. I'm going to go back, pitch inside, pitch on both sides of the plate. You know, there's a guy that does not have an outstanding fastball. Look at him. Got it on the inside part of the bat. He says, yes, yes. That's exactly what he's telling his pitcher. Great pitch.
Go back outside.
Absolutely. He's trying to get those pitchers to throw the ball in on the inside part of the plate. That ball hit up against right around the label of Andruw Jones's bat. Great pitch. Great pitch. And he's selling that to his pitcher. Great confidence building.
3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. Nobody on for the Braves. And Jones just stays alive. Way out in front of it. But enough to foul it back.
And Pratt was animated again, too, because he made a good pitch with the breaking ball. He is into it. He's got that base hit, RBI, stolen base.
Todd's loving this game. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Inside. A little bit too far that time. 3rd walk, 1 intentional. Comes with 2 down, and Randall Simon coming up. Simon's had a single and grounded out. Takes a big cut. He's got some power. You can tell by the swing that he goes for the downs more often than not. Batting .429 over his last 7. Came up May 17th from the AAA club in Richmond. Now getting a chance to play with Andres Galarraga out. Braves have started. They use Klesko at first base. They were not getting enough out of the outfield position when Klesko was replaced. Runner goes. Throw down by Pratt. Not in time. Andruw Jones will pick up the stolen base. Gets himself in scoring position. He's got 12 on the year.
Well, the Atlanta Braves playing aggressively. Todd Pratt has a good arm to second base. Looks like he rushed that one. You can see him shaking his head now. Got the body out front. That'll happen. Play that off, and all of a sudden you get in there and get a little jumpy and jittery. After you've stolen a base, driven in a run, he is on cloud 9. Andrew Jones, no slouch stealing bases either.
1-1 the count. He's in scoring position now. And the pitch is down low. 2-1 to Randall Simon. Perez on deck. Reed's done a good job against left-handers. They're hitting 265 off him. Right-handers 320 coming into this game. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Ordonez holding the runner at second. They play him to pull. Lofts that one towards the alley. Agbayani won't get to it. That'll get a run home. Throw into second base will hold Simon on with a single, and the Braves are on the board. It's 4-1. Eighth RBI for him.
A stolen base by Andrew Jones. Bobby Cox, I don't know if he's running on his own when he stole the base, but with 2 outs, they get a run out of it. They manufacture a run with a walk, stolen base, and a single. Now, if Jones is on first base, there is no way that he scores on that. And you'd have runners on first and third. I saw where somebody got mad at the other team, and I was looking at the paper the other day, and the score was 7-3, and they got mad because somebody stole a base when they were up 7-3. I said, yeah.
It's not exactly out of reach.
No, not with one swing of the bat.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? They said, well, that guy was stealing when you got 4 runs ahead. There was going to be 4 more runs than that for I'm going to stop trying to put points on the board.
A little testy, don't you?
Yes,
think?
I would think so.
Dave Wallace, pitching coach, out to have a word with Reed, who has now given up the run on just 5 hits. Bottom half of the 6th inning, still 2 down. This is a 2-out rally. Started with that walk to Andrew Jones, stolen base, and the single by Simon. Eddie Perez, the catcher, up. He's been fooled on breaking balls all night. Way off him. He has struck out and been given an intentional pass. First at bat, though, he waved at pitches just like he did there.
There's that big long swing. Looks like he's trying to pull the ball. Greg Maddox's personal catcher. An excellent receiver.
Got one in a bit. Towering fly ball center field. Cedeno backing up. Warning track. It carried. And he hauls it in. Well, Perez gave it a ride, but it's the 3rd out. 1 run, a hit, and a base runner left on. Again, the defense of the Mets helped out. Benny Agbayani. It may not be pretty, but it's the same out. Back here at Turner Field, let's check the Toyota out-of-town scoreboard. Phillies won their ball game against Chicago today. Montreal, they had won that game against Florida. Cincy with a big show. John Olerud takes the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Later starts, the American League. Red Sox won it over the White Sox. Detroit got a shutout over Minnesota. Olerud goes the other way to left field. Klesko over, won't have a play. Fair ball. And Olerud will hold up. So John Olerud's got a 3-hit night now as he's 3 for 4. Yankees ahead of Baltimore. KC leading Cleveland in their game, and starts on the West Coast.
I don't think Ryan Klesko is going to make the all-defensive team, do you?
No.
Kind of going out on a limb here, but I.
Nor will he race against Ben Johnson.
No.
Any sprint. No. Robin Ventura. Olerud started the 6th inning with a single. The Mets batted around. Ventura takes the strike. A couple of strikeouts and a walk. Robin's got an 8-game hit streak on the line here. Mets have the 4-1 lead. First meeting of the year for these two teams. Oh, 0-1 delivery. 1-1. The count. Springer on in relief. Try and go through this inning. Pitcher's due to lead it off. Kevin McGlinchey is up in the bullpen for the Braves, so Bobby Cox hoping Springer can get the outs here and then he can pinch hit. 2-ball, 1-strike count. And the outside corner, 2-2.
We're talking about Andres Galarraga being out, Gary. And you were saying that the doctor said he could come back if he wanted to,
But shouldn't.
but should not. Well, I would agree with that, huh?
That'll be strikeout number 3 for Springer. Galarraga's got one more chemotherapy. Talking to Don Baylor about this. One more that he's got to go through. And then it's a matter of just rehab and healing in the back. And they've advised him not to come back, but told him that if he wanted to, he could, but shouldn't. So he probably won't. That's why that number 14 is being worn by the Atlanta Braves for Andres Galarraga. Benny Agbayani with 1 down. Olerud still at first. Agbayani's hit his 11th home run, 2nd inning. Of course, I don't know, maybe it's just because of the publicity, but it just seems as though it's been one of those years in baseball. There's some pretty serious, illnesses. Yep. Durker and Santo. Inside, Galarraga. Must have been a number of prostate cancer keeps hopping up around the league. 1-ball, 1-strike count.
The pitcher that broke his arm the other day throwing in Florida. Slips my mind immediately right now, but in the ball game.
Is that Tony
Saunders? I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Throwing a pitch and broke his arm.
2-ball, 1-strike count. Fouled off the end of the bat. 2-2.
You know any right-handers that have broken their arm? Think about that. Dravecky.
They've all been
left-handers.
left-handers.
Yeah. Dravecky. Tom Browning.
Yeah.
Saunders. There was one other.
With the Giants.
That's Dave Dravecky.
That was Dravecky.
That was
2-2. Up high, 3-2.
But there was one.
They were all left-handers.
They were all left-handers. I have no idea what the significance means, but
neither do I.
No.
But I know the answer isn't thaw the chicken. 1 down, 3-2. Runner goes, and ball 4. Second walk given up by Springer, and the Mets have first and second occupied now as Agbayani's on again. Homer, single, and a walk, and a ground out for him. 2 on, 1 down. Todd Pratt, the big RBI single in the 6th inning. Couple of hits, first major league stolen base, 2 for 3 in the game. Mets have now out-hit the Braves 10-5 with a 4-1 lead. Braves last year won 9 of the 12 games these teams played, including the last 3 here in Atlanta that wiped out the Mets' hopes of going as the wild card in the National League. To Pratt, and a strike call from Springer. We're underway, 45 minutes late here tonight. If you joined us late, that's why we're at this hour. And in the 7th inning, we had a light problem, generator short circuit. 45 minutes in the delay before the game started. Fouled off the mask of Perez again. Mercy. He is having a night, and not a good one.
Can they pay him enough money or not? I suppose these days you could say they do, but
trainer doesn't want to go out there again because he knows what he's going to hear from Perez.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. The trainer will come out there, and a player, specifically catcher, say, "You don't come out here until I tell you to come out here. Keep your rear end in the dugout." Very proud by profession. Well, you just have to be able to play with pain. That's all there is to it. You play that position, you're going to get hurt.
Guaranteed.
It's going to hurt.
Guaranteed.
Somewhere's going to hurt.
You could put on a full metal outfit, you'd still get hurt.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball just missed outside. 3-2, 2 on, 1 away. Bobby Valentine's been running people here tonight in this situation, even though there's 1 down. Mookie Wilson has a conversation with Agbayani at first. Olerud, the lead runner, at second. See if they go again. 3-2, they're running up high, and Springer has loaded them up. Back-to-back walks here in the 7th inning. Well, they wanted him to get through this inning so they could pinch hit for him leading off the next one. It's not going to happen. Bobby Cox is on his way out. Roger Cedeno's due up. The base is loaded and 1 away.
He also knows he's got a game tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon, and doesn't want to go to that bullpen unless he absolutely has to.
Kevin McGlinchey has been warming up in the bullpen, will now come on. He'll be the 3rd Braves pitcher with the bases loaded. Met fans, your vote counts. 2-time Gold Glove shortstop Ray Ordonez trailing Barry Larkin by just a few thousand in the All-Star balloting at short. You can vote for Ray by picking up an All-Star ballot at any CompUSA store or by visiting their website at www.compusa.com and click on to the All-Star balloting icon. Ballots are accepted through June 28th. Kevin McGlinchey out of the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves. Out of Malden, Massachusetts. And has been used a lot of times, but not for a lot of innings. 3 years in the minors, only 22 years old. First appearance at the major league level this year. And McGlinchey comes in a tough spot. Roger Cedeno, the switch hitter, coming up with the bases loaded and only 1 away. The infield is drawn in. They'll try and get the play at the plate on the lead runner, John Olerud. That's leading at 4-1. First ball hitting Cedeno. Cedeno's 179 right-handed, 352 left-handed. 2 home runs have been hit from the right side.
There you see the infield. There's no way they're going to get a double play on Cedeno. If they play the infield back, they can't afford to give up any more runs.
Ryan Klesko left field, backing up. Olerud tagging. Klesko makes the play, and all of the runners will advance. Sac fly for Cedeno and an RBI. He's got 2 runs batted in the ball game tonight. Cedeno's got 18 RBIs on the season, 5-1 men lead.
Now that is a happy dugout for the New York Mets. Very important to take the first game of the series. And Roger Cedeno hitting in the 7th spot in the lineup. A guy with that speed at the bottom of the lineup, and what a luxury you got when you have that kind of talent.
2 in scoring position now with 2 down. As the base runners moved up, Agbayani went to 3rd. Todd Pratt down to 2nd base. And Ray Ordonez, with Rick Reed due up, will be given the intentional pass. Ball 4, and that will load him up again for Reed, who's already delivered an RBI single in the 6th inning and another single in the 3rd, 2 for 3.
Well, you can't take a hot hitter out of the lineup, and especially when he's pitching well. That's a subtle dig right there.
Yes, I heard that.
Plus the Mets have a chance, their pitching staff, to have their first complete game. They do not have a complete game yet this season.
Pretty good batting average. I mean, a very good batting average. Maddox is hitting .308. Smoltz .333. Saw Reed with a .287. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Reed. McGlinchey looking for what has been an elusive 3rd out. A couple of walks in this inning have contributed to it. Again, the Mets have had only one single, 3 walks, 1 intentional. Reed pops it up foul, 1 and 2. These rallies for the Mets have not been what you'd call booming innings. They got 3 runs on 5 hits in the 6th inning. All the hits were singles. There were 2 walks in that inning. They got the home run by Agbayani in the 2nd. Now here in the 7th inning, they've pushed a run across with 1 hit and 3 walks and a sac fly. Manufacture those runs. 1-2 delivery. And that will go foul.
When you got a club that has depth through their hitting lineup, through their entire lineup, you're going to get some runs. The Mets have that. The Braves have that. Granted, the Braves are injured in the sense they don't have Galarraga. An injured Brian Jordan. They don't have Javi Lopez. But they have a good lineup from top to bottom. You got depth in that lineup. You got different ways to manufacture runs.
Short hop. Ozzie Guillen go to first, and that will retire the side. But the Mets come on and add another run. 7th inning stretch time, 5-1 Mets. Say this July, it's the event you've waited weeks to see, the WB11 Star Trek Next Generation Viewers Choice Marathon. You picked them. Now watch the WB11 count them down. It all starts July 3 at 8 p.m. right here on the WB11. Gary Thorne, Tom Seaver, and our crew in Atlanta. First meeting of the year for the number 1 and 2 teams in the Eastern Division of the National League. Atlanta leading the Mets by 3 coming into this series, but the Mets have a 5-1 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning at Turner Field. Mets will make a couple of changes here behind Rick Reed, who will stay on. Moore is going to come on to play center field where Cedeno had been, and Cedeno will move over to right, and Benny Agbayani will come out of the game. So Bobby Valentine getting the better defensive outfield going. Ricky stays in the ball game in left, where he's been throughout the night.
He has been a left fielder on the bench, one of the 2.
That's right.
He has not had much success.
Dave Wallace waits now for the announcement that Otis Nixon would be the pinch hitter, and is going to come out for a medical check. He said to the home plate umpire Mike Winters that Reed may be suffering cramps out there. That's why he went to the umpire first, so this will not count as an official visit.
Now he can go out there and talk to the pitcher about his physical condition. They can't talk about how you feel, how you're going to throw. You can say, "You're physically, are you all right?" And you can say yes or no, but you cannot say, "Well, don't forget to mix in your changeup here." If it's going to be a medical visit, that's all you can talk about is medical stuff. Can't talk about baseball stuff.
Reed looked like he was like, "What are you doing out here?"
Yeah, what are you doing out here? I thought you had a good seat. Go over and sit down in the dugout.
Veteran speedster Otis Nixon. Pinch hitting, lines at the center field. Moore just came in the game. Hello, welcome. 1 down.
Well, did the advanced scouting pay off there? First ball fastball hitter, play him on the left field side of second base and center field. And Moore didn't have to move but 2 steps, catch that ball at most.
Rick Reed with a 5-1 lead, cruising along now. 3 walks, 1 intentional, 4 Ks, trying to win his 3rd in a row and goes 6-3 in the year. 1 down in the 7th. Leadoff batter Ozzie Guillen. And a breaking ball in for a strike. Guillen's gone 0 for 3. Popped out twice and grounded out. Now about the bullpen, I saw a note, Tom, on Mark Wohlers, who's with Cincinnati in Double-A. Did you see that note on an appearance he had last night, I think? Down to 3rd. Ozzie's got a base hit. Henderson over. Guillen will stay at first. Mark Wohlers pitching in Double-A ball. 1 inning, and he did not get out of the inning. 3 walks, a home run, 3 wild pitches. They just cannot get him corrected, whatever it is, mental or otherwise. Tried to pitch at the major league level with Cincinnati, Triple-A, now down to Double-A.
Now you said exactly the right words. Whatever it is, nobody knows what it is.
Wow.
Bill Fisher, the minor league coach for the pitching coach for the Atlanta Braves, has tried. Always been able to find the answer.
They tried here in Atlanta, gave him another chance this year, but just didn't work. So Wallace is coming out, and this time it looks like it's for real. Turk Wendell warming up in the bullpen. Reed will turn the baseball over, but he'll turn it over with another fine performance. He leaves after working 6 1/3 innings, giving up just 6 hits. Walked 3, 1 intentional, struck out 4, and a chance to pick up his 6th win of the year. Turk Wendell on.
Well, Rick Reed, another good performance here. He leaves with a 5-run lead, 5-1 lead, 4-run lead. And giving up a couple of line drives. He was not real happy about coming out. The 6th inning, first 2 hitters hit dead line drives off him, in Brian Jordan and Ryan Klesko. And then first hitter in this inning, pinch hitting against him, hit a line drive. Otis Nixon, and then Ozzie Guillen got a single down the left field line. So Bobby went to his bullpen, which he has done every game so far this year. One of the things about, you got a lead like this, one of the things you want to do is to excuse me, if a hitter can make an out, you let him make an out, and that's what Reed was doing. He was relatively upset about coming out, although the last 2 innings he had been hit hard. That's why.
Turk Wendell now on in relief. Brett Boone up, 1 ball 2 strike count, 1 down. Ozzie Guillen's on at first base. Wendell's had 4 days of rest. See, got him. Turk Wendell with that ferocious slider gets the strikeout. Boone retired.
He has a great slider, and you can see Boone's rear end wasn't even close to the batter's box. Watch where his rear end goes. Whoops, how are you going to hit that? And look at this. He is dead going the wrong way. And if you're going to hit Turk Wendell, you got to be going out toward that outside corner, because the majority of pitches are going to be out there.
Chipper Jones. 2 down now. Runner still at first base.
The Braves seem a little blah to me, don't they, to you, Gary? They just.
I think the Mets have really taken this game away from Atlanta.
Kind of
early.
blah.
Yeah.
They're just like not into it almost. And I think Rick Reed took a lot of wind out of their sails. Don Baylor, or somebody was talking, I think it was Baylor. He says we kind of play up to our opponents, meaning that they did not play well against Montreal. Well, if you're going to play hard, you're going to play hard against a club that's right behind you, and that happens to be the New York Mets. And they haven't really been very aggressive here tonight.
Don't you sense, I mean, this Atlanta team over the last few years, I do not sense here with this team tonight the same level of confidence, fire out of the players that we've seen in the past few seasons. 1-2 delivery. Whoa, my. Ate him up. Turk Wendell comes on and gets 2 strikeouts. Chipper Jones goes down with what just amounts to a swing. No runs, a base hit, and 1 left on. Here's our Toyota line score: 5-10-0 for the Mets, 1-6-0 for the Atlanta Braves. Great performance by Reed, charged with that 1 run, 6 hits over 6 1/3 innings, and the pitcher of record for New York. This is Justin Spire. If you say it real quick, and you have one of those plaques you can put on your office wall. Justin Spire.
Not yet a household name. As we scramble to the books.
18 games already. This bullpen, this is what we've been talking about. A lot of people have been used this year by the Atlanta Braves, trying to find a mix of pitchers in the bullpen to get the job done. They have found a closer. John Rocker has got 15 saves. He's taken over that role. Ricky Henderson leads it off and lines it into left field. That's going to go all the way to the wall, and Henderson's going to go all the way to second base. Klesko will get it back in. Ricky's on first hit, 1 for 5. A leadoff double here in the 8th inning for Henderson. Hughes sitting on that one. Well, Ricky, that'll be his 11th double.
Ricky says, I'm not going to stay here and get 2 strikes on me. Get punched out again. Ricky's already struck out 3 times tonight. And Ricky will put you to sleep. He's never seen this pitcher before, and all of a sudden, boom, fastball down the middle, line drive left field.
Seinfeld coming up right after the ball game from Atlanta. A late start here due to the light problem. 45-minute delay. The reason for the ball game carrying on past 11 o'clock here now. Alfonso, 1-0 count. Big time fastball swung on and missed.
Come on, Eddie. Wake me up, pitch.
Spire 2.86 over the last 16 games. He came up on April 14 from their AAA ball club. 25 years old. And I'll be darned, I did not know this. He is the son of Chris Spire. I didn't know that. His dad was certainly a household name. 2-1 delivery off the fist, foul back.
He's a household name around the Spire household, right?
Absolutely.
He and his dad. Dad played shortstop for the San Francisco Giants. Pretty good player.
He was a late acquisition. In fact, April 1 is when Justin Spire was acquired from the Florida Marlins. One of those minor league deals for a player to be named later. 2-2 delivery is fouled off. And it remains a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Alfonso, looking for his first hit. 0 for 3 and a walk.
And trying to get the runner over to third, Ricky Henderson. Trying to add one more run. The Mets lead it by 4 runs, 5-1. And Edgardo doing a good job. So yeah, trying to get him over to third for John Olerud. If nothing else, that's the minimum I want.
And a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Tell you, with Chipper Jones playing so deep at third base, you always got to be careful if you're the opposition about Ricky stealing third. He loves to steal third base.
If you forget about him back there, he'll take off. So another pass, and that will put Edgardo Alfonso on at first base. And the Mets have been the recipients in this game of 7 walks, 1 intentional. Not good for the pitching staff. 7th in ERA in the National League. The Atlanta Braves, an unusual, check that, 2nd in ERA. Still an unusual position for them. Usually they're top guns in that ERA department, but not right now. This bullpen's one of the problems. John Olerud up.
You know, one of the things that jumps out at you when you look at the statistical sheet, you look at Greg Maddux. 99 innings pitched. Maddux is 6-5 this year with a 4.18 earned run average. He's thrown 99 innings, Gary. How many hits do you think he has? 132.
We were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
That leads the league. He's given up more hits than any other pitcher in the National League.
132 and 90, basically 100 innings pitched this year.
And that's an absolute shocker. 2-1. Runners go. Throw down by Perez. Not in time. Double steal. There's what Tom was talking about. Ricky Henderson takes off. Alfonso, the trailer, will get second base.
Well, the Mets pick up 2 more stolen bases. Ricky loves to steal third. Perez has a good arm, but too big a jump for Ricky at second. He has that knowledge, a win to go. Perez really had no chance to get him at third base.
2 in scoring position. The infield moves in, and a strike called on the inside corner. And John Olerud, for one of the few times in a season, takes a called third strike. For Ricky Henderson now, that is all-time leading 1,302 stolen bases. They'll give the intentional pass here to Robin Ventura with Mora on deck. Mora would get his first at bat, came on as a defensive replacement in center field. Ricky Henderson on the year has got 16 stolen bases, caught 7 times. Edgardo Alfonso's 3rd stolen base. This is going to load him up again.
Afraid of another hit.
So Mora will get the chance. He was called up on June 22nd. Second time. He came up on May 30, was optioned back down on the 11th, called back up from Norfolk on the 22nd. 7 games appeared in, and he's not going to get a chance to hit. Moore is going to come out, and Matt Franco is going to be the pinch hitter.
Well, Bobby Valentine's looking for the knockout pinch with the bases loaded. Brian McRae are going to play center. There you send up your big gun from the left side, Matt Franco. Trying to add on 2 more runs here is exactly what he's trying to do it. This is his best chance, he thinks.
So Matt Franco will get the chance here with the bases loaded to do some real damage. 10 for 32 as a pinch hitter with 1 pinch hit home run and 5 pinch hit RBIs. And is he loving this? He's got a 2-0 count with the bases loaded and 1 down.
You let him swing?
Hack away, my man.
Absolutely. Give her a rip.
Go get him.
This is what you're going up there for. Oh, man.
Not even close. 3-0 from Justin Spire. No place to put Franco.
Well, we're seeing a lot of this, Gary, and from a guy that loves pitching. This is not just one ball club. You see a lot of 3-2 counts, a lot of base on balls. Young pitchers coming to the big leagues can't throw the ball over the plate, or they're afraid to throw the ball over the plate.
Walked him in.
Yeah, it's just sad. Pitching is so thin. Everybody's looking for pitching. If you're a warm body, you got a chance to pitch in the big leagues.
Ricky Henderson will score from third. Credit the RBI to Franco on the bases loaded walk. Bases remain loaded. Still just 1 down. So all of that strategy with the intentional pass to Ventura, etc., goes for naught. Pratt's up. He's had an RBI single, 2 hits, 2 for 3, and a walk. 25-year-old Justin Spire. Mets lead at 6-1. And ball 1 to Pratt. The irony here, this is the Atlanta Braves we're watching. Strolling in with 4 pitchers in this game, none of whom has excelled. Hit in the air to the gap, right center field. Jordan Over makes the catch. Tagging will be Alfonso. He'll score. A sac fly and an RBI for Pratt, and the Mets have a 7-1 lead. And Todd Pratt, filling in for Piazza tonight, has now delivered 2 RBIs, 14 on the year.
He has also called an excellent game all the way around. Great intensity, great enthusiasm, and this could have been a 3-run double right there. He hit that right on the nose. Just a good play by Brian Jordan in right field. Boy, what a day Pratt could have had. And you see the reaction of Todd Pratt. He thought he had one in the gap. And the gap would have been 3 RBIs.
Cedeno fights that one off. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Justin Spire coming on in this inning. Bothered by the walks. 3 of them. 1 intentional. Again, the Mets having one of those innings. They did get an extra base here from Henderson to lead it off, but that's the only hit they've had, and they've scored 2 runs. Bases loaded, walk accounting for 1 of them. Foul back, 2-2.
Well, we talk about it, Gary, that these young pitchers come to the big leagues and they don't have enough innings pitched in the minor leagues to learn their trade. They come up here and they get hit a couple of times, and they don't understand how to cope with not having instant success, and then they become tentative and afraid to throw the ball in the strike zone, and then they're behind everybody. And it's kind of a whirlpool that just sucks you down. You can't get out of it.
That's what's happened here tonight. Klesko makes the catch to end the inning as Cedeno's retired, but the Mets tack on 2 more in the 8th and take a 7-1 lead. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Turk Wendell struck out the 2 batters he faced in the 7th, coming on in relief of Reed. Now he'll face Jordan Klesko and Jones due up. Andruw Jones. Jordan's had an 0 for 3. And he gets the strike. McRae comes into the game. Center field. Mora had been out there. Straight up change with Matt Franco having it for Mora, and then McRae coming on defensively.
And a lot of empty seats too, Gary. We're talking about the last couple of innings, the bullpen for the Atlanta Braves throwing a lot of balls, creating 2 counts, all 4, loading the bases, working slowly. The whole pace of the game slowed down. This was 48,000 plus here today before we reached the doldrums, the 6th and 7th inning.
Deep left field. Goodbye. Home run. Brian Jordan.
Boy, George.
And Ryan Klesko fouls it off. 7-2 Mets lead. Turk Wendell a little fat in the strike zone on him. Foul back by Klesko.
You look at where the location of the pitch. Yep. You hit the crosshairs, you're going to give up a line drive somewhere. Turk knew it. No question. You know the muzzle velocity. You know how quickly that ball comes off the bat. You know the sound. You know the arc coming off the bat, the direction of the ball. There's a certain speed that the ball comes off the bat, and then somebody hits a home run, and you just know that in the angle. You know that sucker is long gone. Don't even look.
Don't even turn around.
Nope.
0-2 count on Klesko. Full hitter. Turk Wendell off the fist this time to second base. Alfonso. And 1 away. Brian Jordan adding to his RBI output. He is 6th in the league in runs batted in with 59. Here's our Jeep game summary. Rick Reed, pitcher of record for the Mets, an outstanding outing. Odalis Perez ran into some trouble with those 8 hits that were bunched together. Agbayani 2 for 3, including a homer, and we had a 45-minute power delay before the game got started. Our Jeep game summary. It's played, and Andruw Jones is retired. 2 down. Wendell makes the play. Turk has now given up 6 home runs on the year. Ballpark, as Tom said, never got going here tonight. Level of excitement just never got turned on.
There's a real lack of energy. Sometimes you can feel it. A lot of the press talking to both teams, saying, well, how big a series, how big a series. Both teams playing it down with the exception of Brian Jordan, and rightfully so. These 2 teams are right back at it tomorrow night. This is a different New York Met ball club than it was last year. They're a club that can run, it has more speed. And it's Cedeno and Henderson.
That one ripped to the right field corner will fall in for a base hit. Cut off by Cedeno. Throw to second base. He is not in time. Off the bag, they got him. Simon had himself a double, but slid by the bag. And Cedeno moved over to right field for defensive purposes, made the throw, and Simon is retired. New York Mets baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Check in your nearest Toyota dealer. Toyota every day. And by Budweiser, Brewery Fresh. Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. General Motors, people in motion. Closed captioning is provided as a public service by 1-800-Mattress. Leave off the last S for savings. Mets with a 7-2 lead. 11-8 the hits. And do you believe this? I would think Perez, they should just take him out of the game right now as a matter of mercy. Enough already. This is the third time the guy who's playing hurt has had a ball just slice off him behind the plate.
I think you're right. I think they're going to take him out.
Matos is coming out of the bullpen. Pascual Matos called up Wednesday for the second time with Javi Lopez on the DL as the backup catcher who's working in the bullpen. I mean, Perez is
He doesn't want to come out. Look at him. He does not want to come out.
Getting beat up.
Bobby Cox had to pull him out of there. Said, no, you're out of here. You know, the score's 7-2. We're in the 9th inning. Out of here. Watch this again. It has been like this. Oh, man. I mean, that's almost a knockout. That's right where he got hit before. Right in that center cushion area of that mask. Holy mackerel.
He's mighty thankful the game's tomorrow night, not tomorrow afternoon. I'll tell you that. Matos will come on for the third time this year at the major league level. Matos are going to give him a chance to take a couple here from Justin Spire on the mound. Don't forget, Seinfeld is coming up as soon as we've completed our game here in Atlanta, and we're in the 9th inning. That's with the 7-2 lead. Perez will get a little rest here tonight, and deservedly so. Well, Matos behind the plate.
I think he's also going to get some aspirin. Don't you think
Boy,
so?
about a bottle full. And a strike taken. Matos, 24-year-old behind the plate from the Dominican Republic. Line drive. Wow. Justin Spire. That one didn't miss by very much. And Ray Ordonez is on with a single here in the 9th inning.
Well, he's been absolutely on fire. Third time that he has been on base this evening. A couple of walks, and that one right by the nose of the pitcher. That almost got some face. Boy, Ordonez has been as hot as anybody in the National League.
Bobby Bonilla is on as the pinch hitter for Turk Wendell. Nobody out. Mets now at 12 hits in the game. Bonilla 3 for 9 as a pinch hitter. 129 right-handed, 186 left. Tough offensive year for Bobby Bonilla with all the controversy swirling around him. And not playing very much. 101 at bats, fouls it off.
Well, it's very difficult for a guy like Bobby Bonilla, a veteran player. They need to play a lot, get a lot of at bats. That pinch hitter, that guy that can walk up there and do a good job, is so difficult to do. People don't understand how tough that is. And all Bobby Valentine here is just doing is just giving him an at bat so he can see the ball and react to it under a game situation. But a guy like Bonilla, who has been used to playing every day when he is healthy and getting his 3 or 4 at bats, that's when he swings the bat well. It's tough for him to get up there periodically and be what in essence is a pinch hitter.
Many of you in New York may have seen the story today that Charles Dolan and Cablevision are on the verge of announcing that they are buying the New York Mets. Steve Phillips, the GM here, nobody in the Mets organization is denying it. It's just not being announced. Bobby Bonilla part of that story because story said that the new owners want Bonilla traded. Steve Phillips, the GM, said, "I have not been told that. I don't have any salary cap as far as making moves to improve the team. I've just been told to go forward and do what I'm doing with the current plan."
It's business as usual. There are no limitations on what he can and can't do. It's just as if nothing were going on. There was no sale that going on. He can just go ahead about his business.
3-2 runner goes. Fouled off again. And again, that is a news story, not an official announcement. But it certainly looks like it's.
Well, they're not denying it.
No, they're not.
The Mets are not denying it. It's going on.
It just isn't.
It's a matter of when.
Yeah, when's it going to be announced? 3-2 count, nobody out. Running at first base, Ordonez. He runs again towards short. Cued off the end of the bat. Jones will make the play, going to third. Throw is not in time with Ozzie Guillen over to cover third on the throw from Simon. So Ordonez, even with a 7-2 lead, a little heads up base running there, takes the extra base.
Take a look at it again. Brian Jones, a lot of time, Chipper Jones, a lot of time with Bonilla running. And there's a couple of shortstop and friends right there. He came down and slammed him on the back. They'll be yakking about that tomorrow. They'll be chirping like a couple of baby robins, those two.
Infield in, one down. Ricky Anderson. Anderson got a double his last time up and a stolen base.
His sixth time up tonight.
Lined out, struck out, struck out, struck out. Doubled. 1-0 delivery. And Henderson takes it down low, 2-0. Justin Spires kind of taking one for the team here. Not entirely, but gave up a couple of runs on a hit, 3 walks in the 8th inning. Leadoff single here, runner on. I mean, there's no sense using anybody else in the bullpen for the Braves unless Spire just can't get anyone out. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, he's normally come in and pitched an inning, maybe 2 on occasions. This is his 19th appearance. And he's pitched 26 innings before tonight. So out of that, you say, yes, he's just coming in to finish an inning, but no more usually than 1 inning.
Struggles with the strike zone. 3-1. Three-1 delivery. And he walks him.
Well, Rick,
he's given up 3 walks, 1 intentional.
Ricky hesitated there before he dropped the bat. Did you see that? He put it down and held on just for a fraction longer until the umpire said, yep, all 4, before he went to first base.
One of our crew guys here who work in Atlanta have told us that Justin Spire not only is a relief pitcher, but he's an emergency catcher. Call his own game. Runner goes. Throw down is shy of the mark and a stolen base. So Ricky Henderson's got 2 stolen bases in the game. 17 on the year. Pascual Matos threw down, but not even close.
One of the ways you pick up a lot of stolen bases when nobody's paying attention to you, and a big run game. Go ahead and take second base, add to your all-time lead.
Grounded. Guillen holds the runner, makes the play. Runner coming, and all the way to the backstop. Ricky Henderson's on his way to third. Hang on to that baseball. Well, Ray Ordonez has certainly been willing to run. He's kept Simon busy over there at first base. Alfonso will be credited with an RBI.
Well, that was a great play by Ozzie Guillen. Maybe the only pretty thing on the play for the Atlanta Braves. How he got that ball shot off the bat, and then the throw to first. As soon as he started to go to first, the runner from third took off, and a bad throw from the first baseman, Randall Simon. Ugly.
Ugly.
Called ugly game.
Alfonso's got 43 RBIs now. There's no error charged on that. Anderson takes third on the throw to the plate, but the runner was going to score anyway is the ruling, so they credit him with the RBI and the ground ball, saying Simon had no chance to get him at the plate, and the runner moves up on the throw. John Olerud, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. And the Atlanta Braves, there'll be some interesting stories written tomorrow, because this has been a very ugly performance by the division's leading, the National League's leading team.
Well, it's been a great game for the New York Mets, obviously, putting 8 runs on the board. And it's been a spring training game for the Atlanta Braves. These are the kind of games you'll see periodically in spring training. Not good defense. Been poor defense in left field by Ryan Klesko. And it's the kind of game that you felt about the 7th inning that it was over. Which sometimes you obviously see that in spring training.
Olerud drives it deep to right field. It is way back, and it is gone. Goodbye, home run. John Olerud, a 2-run homer. And the Mets poured on. Big night for Olerud. That is home run number 12. John Olerud, 3 singles and a 2-run homer in 6 at-bats.
All right, Rick. Nicely done.
Lights may have gone out in Atlanta, but they didn't go out in New York. Not over there. Now it's 10 runs on 13 hits.
And you're right. Young Mitch Aspire taking one for the club. You're in there. Hit the last out and get out. Come back tomorrow night. That's what Bobby Cox wants to do.
1-1 to Robin Venturas, 2 down.
Take a look at it again. Where is it? Just middle in. Not much on it. Tailing back out over the plate. Short stroke by John Olerud. Be fun to look at Octavio Dotel tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. He was having a great year in Norfolk at AAA for the New York Mets. He starts here tomorrow night.
Major League debut against Tom Glavine. We'll see Glavine and Maddox of Atlanta, Dotel and Yoshi. And all the games right here. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. 1 o'clock on Sunday. 3-1. Ripped to first base. Simon knocks it down. He'll take it himself. And that will retire the sign and a mock cheer in Atlanta. The New York Mets had 3 runs here in the 9th inning. John Olerud with the 2-run homer, the big blow. Bottom of the 9th coming up.
10-2 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and we'll take a look at the GM turning point of the game in the 2nd inning. Benny Agbayani, a solo shot to left field, home run number 11, and for a while that looked like it was going to be enough and all they needed. And then look what the Mets did in the last 4 innings. 9 runs, 3-1, 2-3, going 6th through the 9th. 9 runs in the last 4 innings. 13 hits. And it has not been pretty for the Atlanta pitching staff at all. But you know what, Gary? They got pitching staff, starters, if they can get healthy in one day. And they got to come, the Mets have to come right back here tomorrow and face Glavine and Maddox. And the question that we're going to talk about tomorrow, I know, how much has that smaller strike zone affected the 2 of them, Glavine and Maddox?
Pascual Matos up. He'll get his first at bat. Barring a miracle for the Braves, it will be his only at bat. Bottom of the 9th inning. Greg McMichael out of the bullpen for the Mets. Obviously a non-save situation. Down to 3rd. Robin Ventura. 1 away in the 9th. You notice how Ventura did not do a 360. Almost the natural thing to do there with your weight going is to turn around, make a 360 and throw. You do that, obviously, the chance for an errant throw increased. Good infielders do not do 360 moves unless they absolutely have to.
They keep that chest right pointed toward third base, and he's done it 1,000 times. He knows exactly where his release point is. I was watching the late game the other night, And Ken Griffey Jr. did it in center field, cut off a ball in right field, and did a 360 and threw home and threw a strike to home. Took his eye off his target, going from right center to left center to get a ball, and it was on a base hit and threw out a runner at home and did a 360.
Lockhart, the pinch hitter, grounds to John Olerud and is retired. 2 down. Keith Lockhart, first appearance in the ball game. And the Mets are 1 out away from wrapping it up and a victory against the Braves. The Mets have not won a game here in Atlanta since July 13 of '97. Mets lost all 6 games here in Atlanta last year, and they lost the last 2 games played here in '97. Trying to put an end to that. With Ozzie Guillen up, McMichael looking for 1 more out. Reed, the pitcher of record for New York, will be 6-3. Odalis Perez 4-5, the starter for the Braves. Inside for a ball to Ozzie Guillen. 2 home runs, Benny Agbayani a solo shot, John Olerud a 2-run homer. Todd Pratt filling in for Mike Piazza, who's due back in the lineup tomorrow as that concussion gets better. Pratt had a 2 RBI game. And when this comes down, this should be history. John Olerud, it is. McMichael comes on to retire the side in order, and the New York Mets have beaten the Atlanta Braves by a score of 10-2, out hitting them 13-6 in this game. And Reed, with all this offense, should not go unnoticed, Tom, because he had a heck of a start.
Well, he certainly should not go unnoticed. In the sense of what he did, his game plan was to throw inside, something that he got away from his last start in St. Louis, and it cost him. Yeah, he won, but he pitched poorly. And he said, yeah, I'm going back inside. I'm going to establish that I will pitch on both sides of the plate. He and Todd Pratt did that, and he walks away with another win and pitched extremely well. Now, okay, yeah, we talked about the opening. Coming in here, the Mets down 3. And boom, all of a sudden 2. They can get to even if they sweep. They will take them one at a time, as they say in that clubhouse tonight.
Philly also won, so they picked up a game as well on the Atlanta Braves. But the New York Mets end the over here in Atlanta. Benny Agbayani, his 11th home run coming in the 2nd inning. The defense again shining for the New York Mets. No errors in this ball game. Reed comes away the winner, 6-3. That'll do it from Turner Field. Our final score: the Mets 10 and the Atlanta Braves 2. Our next Met telecast tomorrow at 7. Mets once again meeting these Atlanta Braves, as we'll see Octavio Dotel his major league debut against Tommy Glavine. Stay tuned next for Seinfeld. For Tom Seaver and all of our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
The Mets have been waiting all season long for a shot at the Braves. This weekend, they get their chance. Mets Braves tomorrow at 7 on the WB 11.